Welcome, everybody. This is the One Up Podcast. I am your host, El Caballo, a.k.a. Tony. Here with some of my nearest and dearest, Doughboy, Mateo, and Pucho. How y'all boys doing today, man?
Not too bad, dude. Tired. Very tired.
Yeah, long night?
Been doing that motorcycle class, dude. And it is surprising just how much that shit beats you up. It's only like a little 300, 400 pound bike, but man, I'm exhausted.
Yeah, you're gonna be a biker boy?
I wouldn't word it that way, but yeah, that's the eventual plan.
Are you looking for more like a sports bike or like a fucking chopper, like a fucking Harley Davidson?
I've been riding a cruiser in the class, and it's probably going to be something like that I'm going to get whenever I pick up a bike. Although I've been looking at this Royal Enfield Himalayan because, man, riding a bike is frightening. And I want something that's like low powered and that I don't mind if I like beat the shit out of, kind of like try to learn on.
That old school look, right?
Yeah, it's like an old school like adventure bike. It looks very British. It's like dual purpose, so you can ride it on the road, you can ride it off road if you wanted to.
That's the same bike that Dick at John Wick fucking Keanu Reeves has. He has one of those old fashioned like fucking bikes. It's pretty dope. What's going on with you, Pooch?
I just got a PS5 this week, so I just been going ham.
Nice.
Playing PlayStation. I got that Demon Souls remastered or remake. The shit is fire. I played it on the PS3. It was good. It got me into the Souls games, but I never really got too far into that one in particular. But now I'm enjoying the shit out of it. So I was just wrong before, and I'm right now.
What do you mean you was wrong?
Trying to get my health game up, you know. I've been walk running like 3 miles like every day or so.
We always called that a walkie joggy.
Walkie joggy.
Walkie joggy.
Yeah. It's tough too, man. I just bought a special kind of stroller for running. So we strap Leon up and we just be hitting them roads.
That's awesome.
It's a really nice stroller, bro. Like most strollers got them plastic ass wheels, so they're like mad bumpy and shit. And this one has like bike tires. Yeah,
that's awesome.
That's fire. So, I'm also trying to get healthy. Like, started eating salad. You know me, hated salad. I hate salad, bro. But Caesar salad is what Emily had one time. I tried it, kind of liked it. Then I had like chopped chicken with croutons and salad, and Caesar salad. Oh my god, I ate that shit yesterday. Pretty fire. With like a small piece of like a quarter of a sandwich, and I was full for like hours, bro. Shocking.
So when you say a salad, what does the salad consist of? Like it's just lettuce?
It was just they literally had lettuce and some type of white cheese. I think what's Parmesan cheese. I don't know what type of cheese they had on it.
Might be feta.
Probably. And then chopped chicken, like 7 pieces of little chopped chicken, and then croutons. So I just fucking chowed that shit down. No.
Blue cheese they put on there too.
All those dressings disgust me, bro. Niggas be pouring like bottles of gallons of blue cheese or ranch on a salad. I'm like, yo, to me that's beast. Like that's ridiculous. You don't need that much salad dressing. But I just started salad dressing, so who am I or salad eating, so who am I to judge people? I don't know.
Pretty soon you're gonna start eating them salad soups. Tony's gonna be down with just dumping all that fucking dressing on his shit.
What about you, Dola? Like you got a bunch of snow in the background.
Yeah, man. I haven't been able to do anything because last week we got 24 inches of snow, 2 feet. And then today they said it was gonna like rain snow mix. It is full on snowing outside. So we got fresh snow piling on top of ice, basically. And it sucks.
It's
I'm not gonna
dangerous.
be able to bike to work this week. It sucks. It's about to be 2 weeks that I'm not gonna ride my bike, and it's a little depressing, man. I like riding my bike to work. I enjoy it. The thrill of cars not knowing that you're right beside them, so you have to yell at them. Ah, hey, I do the
That does not seem like a thrill.
It's so much fun. I can't describe to you how much fun it is.
It's fun until you get hit.
Is very defensive as a biker. Like being on a bicycle, even on a motorcycle, you got to be extra defensive. You got to treat every car like they're gonna. What we call a left hook is when you're in the bicycle lane and somebody has to make a left turn, so they come right in front of you. So you got to try to like expect that from every car. Um, the trucks, the ones you gotta respect the most are the trucks because one wheel will crush you, and like if they just even if they don't see you and they're like turning into your lane, you just got to give them a whole bunch of space. There was one time I pulled up to a red light and I was in between two buses and I was like in the middle and it was so fucking scary because I gotta get out of here. This has just felt very claustrophobic, and it's my fault because they were both in the lanes, and I decided just to go in the middle. And luckily, I have a pedal electric, so I can gain speed a lot. Like I'm pushing the bike, I'm turning the wheel, but with a motor and electricity, it gives me like a boost, and I was able to get in front of both of the buses and like get over to the bicycle lane.
Y'all
But
boys
In
look brave.
I
in
almost
in,
got.
cla- in class, they were like, you need to ride like the other cars can't see you. You need to basically ride like you're invisible. Like that, like, and that's part of what's so exhausting about the class I did yesterday. Like just that hyper vigilance for the 5 hours of riding. I came home and like my eyes were just like shot. My brain was mush. All I was able to do last night after the class was like play Final Fantasy 7, and then I went to sleep.
Oh, my
Dude, I
eyes are
wish.
so mush, but I can play video games for a couple hours until I go
Well,
to
you know,
sleep.
you gotta relax somehow, dude.
I like the idea of riding bikes and motorcycles, but I got too much anxiety for that shit. Like I got a few friends, like I got friends that have passed away, that have like fucked up their limbs and just all types of accidents on motorcycles. The shit just seems borderline too dangerous. And it's not just motorcycles, even bicycles and shit. Like I've got a few friends that have hurt themselves riding bikes around New York City and shit. So I don't know, bro. I don't know. It just freaks me out. Like, riding bikes as a kid, hitting neighborhood blocks, like, is nothing. Once you start hitting them roads with the fucking vehicles and shit, like, I don't know, man.
It's because
That
people
shit
text and
is.
drive. There's a lot of distraction with so many people driving now. So it's just like the moment they look down, you're hitting that corner, they turn, boom, you get hit. Like that shit. That's why to me, I think when people cycle and shit, that shit's beast. And they be going down the road, and they have their own bike lane, right? They got a little strip. But once that shit goes away, it's only meant for cars. These motherfuckers will still go through traffic lights and with the cars and think that they have all this rights to this road. I'm like, bro, that shit ended that way, bro. You better go back that way because I barely have enough room for my car, and you want me to get over to the edge. Like, fuck you. I'm not fucking up my tires for your dumb ass. Just
Nah, man. I think the usually the laws in most cities is bicycles on the street. If there's no bike lane, they're supposed to be treated like a vehicle. So
Hmm.
if they're in the lane in front of you, they signal to change lanes, they signal to turn, all that type of shit.
that shit's
So
wild.
like it's not the end of the road for them, and you just get to like dominate the road. It's like you need to be respectful of these people. They're commuting the same way everybody else is.
That's
And
fine.
Now,
So then they should play for like a license plate and shit.
now
what
a
was
lot
that?
of
You want to take up spots and for me to drive, then make sure you get a license plate for your bike so you can be able to drive on the road.
But
Why
we
do they
don't
need a
have
license
to.
plate?
Yeah, we don't have to.
Because you want to take up space for me. Oh, now I got to respect him as a car. Now he's a fucking
One
vehicle.
thing,
Word, my G. Where's your plate at? Where's
what,
your
what,
plate at?
what
Buy the
is the
tags.
license? What is the license plate going to change on this whole
It's
situation?
it's the power, Mateo. The license plate creates power, and so he's like, he sees the plate, and he's like, "That's something. That shit got a plate. It's official. I gotta respect that
Got to
shit."
respect it.
as, as somebody who's like been riding a bike for maybe 6 months, like every day, one thing I have noticed as in the biking world, we call you guys cagers because you guys are in the car. But once you put somebody in a 2 ton
Cager.
vehicle, 3 ton vehicle, there is something happens to their like ego and like it just inflates and you just feel so entitled. It's very weird the way people behave once they enter a car. And I've always noticed it makes you one of two things: very angry person or a very dumb person. So like there is no like there's some chill
Same thing for
drivers
people on a fucking bike.
out there. I don't. I will not say that people that ride bikes aren't dumb because I've seen people that ride bikes do some dumb stuff, but it's like the lack of respect from vehicles that you get. One
Cause
thing
you're
that's
slowing
changed.
down the fucking traffic, my nigga. Like, get the fuck out of. I gotta go to work. You were here at your pedal assist bullshit for 5 miles an hour. I got a. My bad. I got a fucking car that I paid for a car. You guys want to ride your bikes? Cool. Get on the fucking sidewalk. I'm trying to get to fucking work, my nigga. My gas tank's on E, nigga. The gas station's a mile down the road. You gotta get the fuck out of the way, like.
He paid for a bike, you know. You know what's funny? Though he's right, in my opinion. Like every time I see a car doing the craziest shit that I'm like, what the fuck? It's always a fucking pickup truck. Some motherfucker in a Silverado. You get anybody in a Silverado and they become a different person. They become powerful. They just start doing crazy shit on the road. I'm like, well, I don't know what the fuck's going on. Every time I see some crazy shit, it's either a Penske or a fucking Silverado, right?
Oh,
You remember
Penske.
when my mom's boyfriend bought her the Mustang? How insane she began to drive with that
Yo,
Mustang.
Mustangs change people. A Mustang changes people. That's for sure.
Yo, we called her the violator because she violated all driving regulations.
Them quick accelerations.
Wait, quick before we move on. There's just something's happening in New York, and the only way I could describe it is like a biking renaissance. And like ever since COVID hit New York, nobody wants to be in the subways close together. I don't even understand how it's changed so much for me mentally. Like just a year ago, if a crazy person got on a subway train, which happens a lot, and they want to sing Baptist church songs with no mask on, also no teeth in their mouth, um, I used to not care. I used to be like, okay, go on, crazy person, sing your songs. Now it's like an anxiety comes over me, and I'm like, this is not cool. I do not want to catch whatever this person has, and it sounds terrible, but it's just what COVID has done to me. So you got a lot of people on the road now, biking. We're talking about probably over 100% from last year, and you're starting to see issues that come up, and the one thing that then, especially for the mayor race for next the next term that you're seeing, is a lot of the mayor candidates saying that they want to put a lot of biking infrastructure. Even just this year, they put down so much biking infrastructure in New York, and it's helped a lot. But also, this has been the most deaths in New York for biking. I think we're somewhere at like last year we ended at like 31, and that's like very high number. But that's just because you see an increase in biking, and I just think it's a beautiful thing, and I hope that we move away from a majority car society, and we can actually move toward having more biking. It's so much better for the environment. It's better for people's breathing
Hold on,
spaces.
doughboy. Hold on. You want to get rid of fucking cars and replace them
Yeah,
with fucking bikes?
there should be less cars in Manhattan. Yeah.
Yo, why don't we get fucking horses and chariots and shit? Like, what the fuck? Bro, like, you guys are like, are you guys not
I mean,
listening to this nigga, bro?
that's animal abuse.
Oh.
Using the horses and the shit.
This man just said he wants to go back to the old times where niggas just only had bikes. Like, yo,
I
that
mean,
that's crazy.
on his side though, like in New York, man, like the fuck do you need a car for?
I get to work in 27
Okay,
minutes.
New York,
8
I can see
miles.
that. New York, right? I can maybe agree with that. But my dude, you can't like UPS trucks or like delivery trucks or vehicles. Like you need a vehicle, my nigga. There's like construction workers. They need tools and equipment and material. Like it's not my fault that New York is such a fucking box with millions of people in it, and it's just crowded, right? Like, but you know it's so crowded. Like, why don't you not add more shit to the pot? And now you got 100 more bicycles on the road, and then now Doughboy's saying like, oh, we should just get rid of the vehicles. We should limit
Well, I mean,
it. Like,
if you're adding 100 more bicycles though, that's 100 less cars on the road. I mean, in
It's
theory.
Right.
no,
Possibly.
they're just gonna have the same amount of vehicles with more niggas on bikes now.
Hmm.
Yes and no, because you got less people taking the subway, less people taking cabs, more people biking. So you've got more people on the road now. And I think personally, we're moving, and it's nice to see that we're moving away from that big industry. I mean, there's everything still functions, and there are new creative ways that things are coming about in New York. Like the way that they deliver Whole Foods and groceries in New York is all by bicycle. Amazon has contracted a fleet of bicycles. They're called cargo bikes, and they're basically like my bike, a pedal electric, and they hauling like these cargos. You can pick them up at Home Depot. They're like these yellow top Tupperware things, and they put the bags in there and they deliver them, and they come down from 59th Street. So there's a lot of that going on right now. So it's and instead of bringing big flatbed cargo trucks or like the big square box that produce a lot of carbon emissions and stuff like that, you've got no carbon emissions and you got people delivering stuff. I think it's beautiful because yeah, you're going to need the trucks and the buses, you're going to need all these things, but if we can like cut down the amount of cars coming into the city and stuff like that, I think it'll be really good for the city. Especially if you could take a cab. For me to get to work on the subway, it's like an hour and 10 minutes. For me to get to work in a car, it's like 45 minutes. For me to get to work on my bike, 27 minutes, sometimes 28 minutes. I'm making it, and that's beautiful, man. It's a nice way of transporting yourself. But I'll end my rant there.
No, I mean, I'm not trying to shit on your bikes versus the cars either, but even way, a better topic. Did you finally watch fucking Wanda, my dude?
Yeah,
Can
I
we
watched
can
all
we
of it.
finally talk about, or is everybody caught up so we could talk about how this fucking show just not ended, but and that like the last episode? Like, can we talk about it?
Hmm.
Yes.
All right, my complaint. So this whole time, and spoiler alert for everybody who's watching,
Right. This is episode
Yeah.
5. All
episode
5
5.
episodes are one of them.
Yeah,
Yeah, we're gonna spoil the shit out of the show. So just like
Us-
skip ahead if
yeah,
you don't want to.
yeah. I saw Pucho's face, and I instantly was like, "Oh wait, maybe I should just calm down."
Yeah, we'll do a little timestamp. You can skip ahead or some shit.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, WandaVision, that episode, fucking, it's her the whole time, fucking playing this little world game, like like her whole. She just took a part of New Jersey and was like, "This is my area, and I'm gonna play house now." Like that's crazy.
So maybe the answer to that is maybe because they talk a lot in the show about how her powers are amped up. Like she's never been able to do shit like this before. Um, and apparently there's a storyline in the comics that's pretty close to this where her powers get amped up. Someone else is using her grief and her powers to kind of control things. Uh, I think it plays in a House of M, but I'm not positive. Is that right, Butcher? You've read House of M, right?
Some of it. Yeah.
Apparently, there's a call out to House of M. I don't know if you caught it or not. I think it's in. I forget if it's in episode 4. I think it's in episode 4. Vision's reading the newspaper, and it has some like homeless article on the newspaper. When he folds the newspaper, all that's left on the newspaper is HOM, House of M.
Okay.
Oh wow.
Okay.
I didn't see that.
I, I don't know if you want to give us a rundown on what House of M is, because I just read like a Wikipedia article, and that's about it.
Yeah, I'm not super familiar with. I believe the House of M stuff is supposed to stand for like House of Magneto. I thought, or maybe it's Maximoff. I'm not sure. I know like in there they start talking about how like I believe Quicksilver and Scarlet Witch are actually like the children of Magneto.
Okay.
So for me at least this makes sense since now at least with this TV show they're trying to blend like the Marvel Cinematic Universe with the universe that Fox was creating with the X-Men characters. That's like the significance to the last scene is instead of using Quicksilver from the second Avengers movie, they used the actor from I believe it's Days of Future, no, First Class.
Yeah.
It's one of those two movies where they use the Quicksilver from that movie instead. So they're saying we're not using the Marvel Quicksilver, we're using the 20th Century Fox Quicksilver. So it's sort of like they're starting to blend those universes. And this they might tie in because like now all the Marvel comics is they're crazy with all this like multiverse shit. There's
Mhm.
all these different universes with different sets of characters. Um, so they're probably trying to bring in, this whole 20th Century Fox cast as like a different universe, and
But
they
it,
could get crazy. They could introduce like like Iron Man's dead, right? They could introduce an Iron Man from another universe. That's
Mhm.
like a different character. Like I know, like in the most recent run that I read, it's a few years old now, but like Spider-Man in the like in the one the at the time that I was reading the comics, Spider Man was basically like an Iron Man like character. Like he has like oh my god, like a Parker Industries type of thing, and he's got all these weapons and cool tech, very similar to Stark, and um and then like Miles Morales is like your regular Spider Man now. And then like I read like an Old Man Logan shit where he gets like transported to like some alternate reality, and there's like Wolverine is dead in this world. There's a different like Wolverine like character. There's all the characters are it's super cool. Like basically they made all the characters like different genders, different races, different sexual orientations, all that. So like you just got like they basically recast all the superheroes, but the powers are similar. And then fucking Wolverine is old as shit, and he's like super confused. He's like, I don't know what the fuck. They're like, yo, we gotta go meet Cyclops, and he's like, all right, cool. And then he's like, wait, this ain't Scott. Like what are we talking about here? Like, so
So do
it,
you think that those kids are actually real, or that's like a figment of her imagination?
that's what I was about to say. What it seems like is that she created an alternate reality because if I'm not correct, when they're like trying to figure out who's in these sitcoms, they're all sword people. And not only that, but that Indian guy that's lived I don't know, she either took over a town that had all these people living in them or she's created an alternate universe within this town because he also is one of the recruits that come in with the not too sure who these people are, but they're the scientist group that come in, and she finally figures out the radio wave. That Indian guy is also inside that alternate world. So either there's two of him, and one of him is being taken control over in the world because Vision does that thing to him where he goes like this, and he's like, "Oh shit, I gotta call my sister." Like, what? My mom? You know what I mean? So either she's created two of those people, or she's creating an entire alternate reality.
No,
Is
that's
it
what
the
she's
same?
doing.
Is it the same guy? Is there a guy outside and inside? I did not notice that if there
I
was.
I
It's just
I
one.
did.
It's literally so what I pictured, right, or what I saw is that she just took, let's say she took Lake Worth, made a fucking circle around it, and within that circle, she changes everything however she wanted. Everybody's who's already in there, everybody's mindset is now camouflage whatever the hell she's throwing to their heads. So she's controlling not only the environment and everybody's minds, but also altering shit. So once you go in that fucking bubble, you become whatever the hell she has control over you now at this point. That's what I saw. That's what I'm taking from it. So that's
So
what, and
all these
then
people work for Sword though
no,
that are in there.
no.
They
No,
Only one that
I
works for Sword as we know of right now is the guy that came out of the sewage and the black chick. I forgot her name. Those are the
Monica.
Monica. Those are the only two that we know for sure that are in the bubble that work for Sword.
so
Doe's
from
right. When I don't know, I wouldn't go so far as to say everybody, but I know they had like there was a scene where they were trying to map out who all the people were in there. There was older couple. I don't know, like maybe one of their neighbors or something. Like maybe a lady and a man, like maybe in their 50s or something. And I'm pretty sure under it said that they were Sword employees.
Oh,
And I found that weird. Another thing I found odd was, and I'm super interested in how all this connects, or if it's just like incidental or whatever. But like in the middle of like the second episode or something, they just dropped like a commercial in the middle of it, like, and they're showing off a watch, and the watch it like kind of
Stroker.
right, and it's
Drucker.
not super
Struck. Yeah, yeah.
deliberate or whatever. But they like I noticed my wife noticed right away, but on my second watch, there's a Hydra logo in
Yep.
there. And I was
Mhm.
like, okay, what's the significance of that and what does Hydra have to do with this? So like another thing, I mean, I don't know, maybe Mateo was just saying, which is like maybe they're introducing like a multiverse of stuff, and maybe the Hydra in this world is inactive. They don't really exist anymore. Maybe there's a Hydra in another universe that is somehow involved in what's happening.
Yeah, the commercial in the most recent one. Did you catch that one? It was Lagos.
Nah, I
It's
didn't know.
it was the brand of paper towels for cleaning up your messes.
Yes,
Yes.
I saw that one
Uh,
too.
Lagos is where Captain America: Civil War started off. That's
Oh.
when they were trying to kill Crossbones blew himself up, and she was trying to contain the explosion and accidentally killed a bunch of innocent people.
Mm-hmm.
That's
The first commercial is for Spark Industries too.
Oh yeah. I read a theory that each of the commercials corresponds to an Infinity Stone.
Oh wow.
Each
Like
of the
the
commercials?
The what now?
You said each of the commercials, right? Each one.
Yeah, each commercial is a different Infinity Stone. Like the Lagos one, the spill of red, because I think it was like a bright red that cleaning solution or whatever the fuck it was, is like the which is the red stone, Reality Stone, I think.
Not sure. I'm also liking that you're putting respect on the stones now.
Yeah, those little jewels or whatever, like
The fucking jewels.
but yeah, like each of them is supposed to correspond to a different Infinity Stone. Like the toaster is the Power Stone, I think, or something like that. But I was reading way too much about this show the other night and some of the Easter eggs and whatnot that are in it.
Yeah. So the red is the Reality Stone.
Yeah, the red is
Purple.
the reality, purple is the power, yellow is the mind, and blue is the space stone.
So, do we think that Wanda's the big bad though, or is there someone else behind her? Is there a Magneto character, or what is the devil in the Marvel universe? Mephisto, something like that.
I don't even know.
Yeah, I think she definitely is leaving out a lot. She's acting like she doesn't know, but I mean, she definitely created the bubble. I don't know. She seems like a very strong character. I've never heard of her in my like. I've never heard of Wanda before, but she seems like a pretty strong character. She's like taking over all these people's minds simultaneously, and maybe she did have help from somebody on the outside because she obviously went and got Vision's body and like she really fucked shit up in there.
So in the Marvel universe, they have Vision, Doctor Strange, Loki's still in there, Clint Barton,
Hawkeye.
yeah. Who else? Matt Murdock. She-Hulk is also in that fucking universe. That's crazy. I forgot about She-Hulk.
Is this the same guy
There's
that
a
plays
She-Hulk?
Vision?
Is it what?
Vision?
Is
Does
there a
Vision have the
She-Hulk in this movie?
I didn't
Sorry,
see a
in
She-Hulk,
Marvel movies?
Not that I've seen so far.
but that's
Right,
I mean that's the
um,
Marvel universe character lineup, like that, like from back then. Even Moon.
Oh, like in the new launch that they're doing, like this, I forget what they're calling it, but it's like the second phase of their cinematic universe. Yeah.
Also, what
Yeah,
I
that's dope.
yeah, my bad.
No, I'm saying that's dope. And sorry, to answer Doe's question, I think you're asking if the actor of Vision is the same as in the movies.
Yeah,
Is that what you're saying? Yeah, it is.
It is.
he's a
It
good
is.
actor. I like him a lot. I like Vision a lot.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he
I
was.
don't-
I forget his name. He was in. He's been in a bunch of stuff though, man. You ever see that movie, A Knight's Tale, with Heath Ledger?
Oh, you're right.
Yeah.
He plays the poet dude in that movie. He fucking kills it, man.
Right, he's like he's the guy who shows up and he's like the MC. Like he
Mhm.
shows up, he's like rapping, saying all this shit to hype up Heath Ledger's character. That's right.
Yep.
Dang, I forgot. Yo, there's a lot of there's a just even talking about A Knight's Tale, like the short little there's a short fat dude in that movie, and he's just like kind of a chump character in that movie. It's just like whatever. And then the guy goes on to play Robert Baratheon, and it's
Yep.
like you can't even tell. Like, so I don't know. Shout out to the costume crews and maybe to to the actor as well, because I don't know, man. It's interesting. You watch movies and sometimes you can't even tell like that these characters are the same actors, and these actors are playing these same characters in different things or whatever.
Also, what tripped me out is that Ultron's name came up in episode 5.
Yes. So I
And
want to say episode 2 or 3.
Yeah, it's like
It's the
3.
episode where
They,
Monica gets thrown out of the circles where
episode 5, wasn't that the last
they
episode?
they bring him up twice. She brings
Oh,
him up initially and gets her ass kicked out, and they bring him up later on. I forget who brings it up. It's like it is episode 4 or 5 where they bring it up, where they bring Ultron up again.
because like I'm like, then at first I was like, wait, is this saying Vision's Ultron? Because Vision's not Ultron. But they're also saying online that Vision doesn't claim to be Ultron nor Jarvis. He's his own fucking entity.
He's his own thing, because Ultron was trying to he was trying to take over that Vision body. He was that remember they were trying he was trying
Yeah.
to get his consciousness uploaded into there, and then Ultron just became his own thing with the power of the Soul Stone and the vibranium body and the combination of some personality parts of Jarvis. Like he became his own thing.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's interesting that Doe asked if those kids are real though, because apparently in the comics there was this whole storyline where she had the 2 kids, but they would vanish anytime that she wasn't looking at them. And it's because she had created them apparently out of her like her own grief, or Wanda's character always has some kind of like trauma that she's trying to deal with in the comics. It seems like I haven't read a lot of her comics.
Also,
That was,
what's
like, the
crazy
gist of what I
too,
got.
her fucking brother. She fucking formed her brother. Like, and
whoa,
Well,
that's the interesting part because
was never
it's hard
verified.
to know. It's hard to know what she's forming, like creating as a like just something that's not there. So like I want to say that the kids don't exist. Like
Yeah.
this is just her creating these things.
see, I'm leaning more on the kids might actually exist, and she gave him part of her power because it depends on if you believe her or not. Because when her brother knocked at the door, she told Vision, she's like, I don't know who that is. I'm not doing that. That's not me. She told her kids earlier on in that episode that her brother was far away. She didn't say her brother was dead. She said her brother was far away. So maybe the kids summoned him from another universe, another multiverse, because they didn't understand that he was dead. So they grabbed the nearest copy to him, which, in the Marvel universe would be like Earth, whatever the fuck, whatever number is assigned to that, to the X-Men universe.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't
By the
know.
way, in that same scene, right before he pops in, I actually like how they're arguing and she like starts to roll the credits. It's like I thought that was so clever when they did that. I enjoyed that. I like that aspect of the show. The sitcom aspect. Especially this last one. It had like ties to when they're painting the picture. There's a 70s show that they're doing the same thing. I think it's Growing Pains. There you go. It's Growing Pains. And when they're all as a family running towards the camera, that's definitely from Full House.
Dude, their house gave me just like Full House vibes the entire fucking time. That like staircase and like the dark brown and whatnot.
Yeah.
Sure. I wasn't sure if you mentioned it because like you actually had seen that episode the last time we spoke about it, but you mentioned how each episode it covers like a different time period or whatever, and they call that out directly in the show. Like one of the episodes, I forget I don't know, the energy scientist woman. I think
Kat
it's
Dennings.
Kat Dennings, right? Yeah. Whoever, I don't know.
Don't know her character's name.
Yeah, she calls out each episode's like a different like time period or whatever. And this past episode, it felt like
It was the 80s.
it was like the 80s, and
Mhm.
but you got like 80s / like 90s sitcom vibes, and like for sure that cheesy fucking music, the whole family painting, they're sitting at the park, running towards the camera. It was just all the cheesy intros, like all the cheesy intros that I watched growing up, like just like melded into just one thing. Like it was, it looked uncanny because it's like, oh, it's like not quite, but it's like obviously the same, and it's like, oh man, it just felt so weird. Like I don't know. I liked it.
And this hasn't proven before how powerful this girl's power is. Like, because before when we watched all the movies, she was strong and she did this and that. But right now, making your own fucking alternate world or reality, also bringing your dead boyfriend back to life, and that's another thing too. Like, is he dead or did she actually? Because in that one episode, she looked at him and he was dead. But then to me, that makes it seem like, okay, she put his body back together and he's still dead, but in her mind, she made him life. But like, to me, it's like, is he really still dead or did she really fix this dude?
He's got a lot of. He's doing shit on his own. He's got his own. I forget what the term is. He's got a lot of autonomy. If she did recreate him and she's just controlling him. So he may not be fully alive, but he's not. I don't think he's just a reanimated corpse.
Yeah.
I think he's a reanimated corpse. Like, well, sorry, I think he has a brain or whatever. But like that scene, he's clearly like a fucking robot zombie. Like his face was all fucked. His eyes were just glassy white. Like he didn't even have any pupils or anything. It was just he looked
But
fucking dead. And I think she did not fix his body. I think everything we're seeing on the show is like a glamour that she's putting on him to make him look normal to her and to everybody else. But I think in reality, what he would really look like if he exited that fucking
The bubble.
what does Kat Dennings call it? The hex.
The
The
hex.
hex.
Yeah.
Right. If he exited the hex, I think he would look like what he looked like in that brief moment. She even had control over it because she's like, nah. And look the way he could look back, and he looked pristine again. So
I mean, we're gonna find out because I know that there's a teaser out there where it shows him like breaching through like the force field outside.
Oh wow.
Yeah. When she steals his body from the like sword
From Sword.
place, I called it sword.
sword.
I think they said that she reincarnated him with against his wishes.
Yeah, because he
And
didn't want to be brought back.
he didn't want that to happen. So I'm guessing she brought him back somehow.
Well, yeah. I think they're making an assumption that she brought him back because he's walking around and talking,
Mhm.
and he seems to have quite a bit of autonomy. Like he is fucking the Truman character in this set, where he's like he's got some uncanny valley feelings. Like this feels real, but like not quite. So it's a little
Yeah.
off. He's trying to figure out what the fuck's going on. He kind of wants out. Poor
He
guy
does-
is like, I don't remember what my life was. But it's super interesting because I had watched that episode and then I watched the Black Mirror episode, Hang the DJ, and they both say the exact same thing. Where he's like, I don't remember what my life was before coming to this place. Where am I? I've never left. Like I don't know. It was I don't know. It gave me a lot of Truman Show vibes.
Also, I was confused at one point. Like I even had to replay that scene. People started coming back from the blimp. Like it even showed Monica, right? I think her name is, like, come back from that blimp, like from when they all disappeared. So it's like if it's going alongside with the movie, how they snapped everything back in reverse. So that might have been the same time.
Yes.
But if that was going on at the same time, so
what
then
blimp?
like they call it the blimp. Like when Thanos made the wish and made half the population disappear, like
Oh,
in
that's what
the
they call it. The blimp, the snap.
No,
yeah,
the blip.
the blip.
Oh, the blip. I'm hearing the blimp. I'm like, what
Gotta
the
fix your
fuck is
headphones,
the
bro. Them
blimp?
shits is probably dirty or something.
He was saying the fucking blimp.
But yeah, that's like, to me, I was confused. And like, so was she in the alternate universe and this is like the life after death, or did she get brought back? Like, I was so fucking confused. I don't know that shit.
Oh, that makes so much fucking sense now. I'm a fucking idiot. Yo, because I was wondering, because this is so this is what I was confused about, right? The show, sorry, Monica gets thrown out of the hex, right?
Mhm.
And then the start of the next episode, she's in a hospital.
Yep.
And she runs out and she's all like, yo, where's my mom? Blah, blah, blah. And I was like, oh, she got no memory of being inside of the hex. And then they're like, nah, you've been gone for years. You just vanished. And I'm like, just vanished? What the fuck are they talking about? Like, and now I guess I would say now they did a poor job on explaining what happened to her. Because now it sounds like what I don't even know if that's what you were trying to say, but that's how it clicked to me, is that she got Thanos snapped.
Yeah.
So she vanished and then she got resurrected. It was just weird that the lady didn't say, yeah, half the world just vanished and then they came back and you were one. Why she didn't say that? Like instead she was just like, it's been years. No one knew where you went. It's like, nah, no one knew where half the world went.
Because you
Okay.
see people
It's
coming
like,
back in front of her, like they were coming back. It was just weird. I was like, what the fuck? What? Like I don't know. I was confused for a little bit.
yeah, maybe it was. Yeah, I don't know. I'm all confused because I guess it would have been chaotic if half the people in the room just appeared like, yo, where the fuck am I? And they're like, dude, I don't know who you are. Like, you know what I mean? I don't know.
Imagine it at a hospital too, where people were coming back. They were in the hospital because they were sick or had some kind of serious condition going on. They
Now
just
they're fucking
appear.
overstaffed.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know, man. Because didn't she just like wake up from the floor or something?
He was on the chair.
Yeah,
Right. I feel like if they showed her like kind of materializing, like from dust, like kind of how they all disappeared, it
She
would.
did.
They showed that?
Yeah.
Mm.
People like
Oh
it
my
came back
God.
like dust. Like you know how they disappeared like
All
dust?
right.
She was coming
Then
back as
I'm
dust.
all fucked. I was not paying attention. Man.
It was a little bit. I also didn't get it right away, but then like after a lot of people were like mentioning, "Oh, I gotta call my wife," and when they said, "Oh, it's been 3 years," I kind of started to like put it together that this was like, and then they give her the mission, and then she ends up in front of there, and it kind of foreshadows how she got in there in the first place.
That's
Right.
what
And
I
that's
think it
what I was
was.
confused by because
Yeah.
I assumed that what she woke up from was getting thrown out of the hex. So I was like, oh man, there's some weird fucky shit going on right now. I don't know.
Nah,
I don't know
her
what.
getting thrown out of the hex is like to lead up to that point. They're explaining what happened. Like from I guess when Iron Man did his thing and brought everybody back. Um, that part where she's in the hospital coming back is where she started her story to go into the hex, right? So that's how it became. So they did it like a playback. Like, okay, we were in the middle of a show, but now let's stop it, go back to this and how this character actually got into the hex. And then we see her actually getting tossed out. So that's how now talking with you guys, that's how it just all came along. But watching it at first, piss poor. I was like, what the fuck is going on here? Like,
yeah,
It didn't click for me at all.
yeah.
Not till
This,
right now.
yeah. This is taking place like almost immediately after like they win the war against Thanos and bring everyone back.
Yeah.
It's like it's got to be like maybe like a few months at most after that, which makes sense because Wanda would still be grieving because Vision is dead. Didn't she get snapped away too? Wasn't she one of the ones that got snapped?
no. She was.
Did
I
Wanda
don't think
not?
she
Oh
got.
no, I don't remember who was in Endgame. Who was
I feel
still
like she
who was still
wasn't
there? I think she got snapped. I think she was one of the ones that got snapped. So she basically came back and started fighting Thanos immediately. I mean, like they said, she almost defeated Thanos. She probably could have.
Bitch is strong. She's strong.
What about Monica? Does she have superpowers?
No,
You don't think so?
she don't got no.
They had to do multiple blood draws because they were seeing weird results.
Because of the alternate
her scan
universe.
came up completely blank.
Because of the alternate universe, I think.
There's something weird with her.
Because
It
her
could be.
mom is Captain Marvel's best friend, right?
Best friend.
So it was that little girl who knew. Yeah, she didn't have no powers.
She didn't seem surprised when they said that the scan came up blank.
She kind of brushed it off. Not that she didn't seem surprised. She's like, I don't got time for this. Kind of just brushed it off.
I think there's something going on with her. I think she might have some
doesn't know
powers.
yet. Yeah, maybe. She
Do you
doesn't
think
know
maybe
yet.
her being in an alternate hex, like, gave her some powers?
Could be. I don't know. I think her character in the comics is super powered. But that's not always a good indicator of what they're going to do with people in the movies or in the shows, I guess. Although I guess this is the first show that like actually has changed in the cinematic universe, right? Like other shows have referenced it, like in like Jessica Jones and Luke Cage and whatnot. They call it the event or the incident. I forget what the hell they call it in those shows as far as the initial like alien attack on New York. But this is the first one that's actually having like a direct impact. Like shit that's happening in the show is going to affect the movies. Like I think this show is going to play directly into the new Doctor Strange.
Do you was She-Hulk black?
I think She-Hulk's just green all the time. I don't know.
Because wasn't she isn't Hulk the one you can't get blood from?
I think they've done blood draws of Hulk.
I'm confused because I'm trying to figure out who her character, if she does have superpowers, who her character would be in the Marvel universe. I'm
I
going
don't
down
think
the
that they've
list.
showed her yet, dude. I don't think that She-Hulk has been shown at all.
I do expect Red Skull to come out in this fucking WandaVision, by the way. He was like the main character, like, of evil. Like, he was like, he's fucking part of the Hydra team. Like, I do see him making some type of appearance. Or
I would think it'd be weird for him to show up only because I think he showed up in both Endgame and the movie previous. And he's like in some other universe, like some other place in the space. Like,
wasn't Red
he's
Skull
like
the one with the
keeper-
Soul Stone?
What?
Wasn't he the
he's
keeper?
like the
Yeah.
keeper of the Soul Stone, and that's why, was Hawkeye kills himself
Yeah.
or
Scarlet Witch dies.
wait,
No.
Not Scarlet Witch.
Yeah, you
Black
think
Widow.
Scarlett Johansson?
Black Widow. Yeah, it's confusing.
Yeah, I always do it. Okay, yeah. She throws herself off the thing to get so they could get the Soul Stone. So yeah, I don't know. It would be weird because right now his character seems to be kind of like he's transcended the normal human fighting over bullshit. Like, he's a keeper of a stone, whatever that's supposed to mean.
Yeah.
One thing. So sorry, two things. Just to go back, also to lend some. I was just thinking about it. Just to lend some, like, give some water to Mateo's theory and these kids having powers or something like that. What I found interesting in the show, in that episode, at first the kids just start changing ages, right? And you're just like, what the fuck is happening here? And then she makes a weird comment. Scarlet Witch makes a comment like, "Oh, please don't age yourself up. Like, this isn't like." And then it's like, "Oh shit! Like, maybe she doesn't have control over this. Like, and maybe the kids are like aging themselves up somehow if they have powers or something." I don't know. I found that to be interesting.
She gave birth to like 2-month-old babies.
Not even. It was
Two-month-old
this
babies.
almost the same day babies. Like, I think in one whole episode she got pregnant, then gave birth.
Oh, he means the kids were big. Those are some big ass babies that came out of her.
Yeah. Also, what was the significance of that scene where Wanda's friend comes over to help her take care of the babies?
Oh, Agnes.
Right, and Vision fucks the scene up. Almost like there was a script of like Vision is supposed to let her take care of the babies, but then he makes some remarks like, "Nah, let's not do that." And then she's like, "Oh," and then she breaks character and she's like, "Oh, you fucked up the scene. Should I start from the top?" And everybody looks at each other like, "What is she talking about?" It was really fucking weird, almost as if like if maybe she's not mind controlled.
That
Like,
was
if
that was one of my favorite scenes in the episode.
that was weird.
Also, she's the only one they haven't been able to identify yet on that board y'all were talking about where they had everyone
Yeah.
identified. She is someone that they have not been able to identify.
I like her character a lot.
I don't trust her.
Deacon,
There's
maybe
a-
she's Hydra.
Anything she shows up in.
There's more going on with that character than we know.
It's a possibility that she is helping her. Like, she's also somebody in Wanda's life.
Or she one of the people that's involved in like magnifying her powers or something. I mean, she's her neighbor. She's had probably the most screen time out of any of the characters that's inside of the Hex. She's always just popping up at all the right times. Like like I don't know. Her character's really weird, and I found that one scene in particular to be really weird because all the other characters are extremely distraught over they've gotten like fucking body, they're like there's a case of the body snatchers type of shit. Like their body's been snatched. Wanda's allegedly got control over them, and anytime that control breaks, they're freaking the fuck out.
Yep.
They feel like they're getting mind raped or something. And she is the only character that we saw who broke the show inside of the show, right? The Wanda show. Like, she's the only character who broke character and was totally like cool about it. Like,
Well,
she was.
Well, her and the neighbor, the guy that was sawing through the fence. You remember that weird scene with Vision
Oh
where
yeah,
it's when she was inside with Monica by herself, and
Right, giving
Vision
birth.
came over to talk to them, and they were like, "Is she in there by herself with her?" They were like very very concerned about Wanda talking to Monica.
Right, I found that weird.
Hmm.
Yeah,
also
yeah, I don't
this
know. There's,
episode
I
ties
don't know. The show, I don't know, man. There's a lot of questions that I'd like answers to.
like this episode also ties in with the name because I would thought WandaVision is Wanda and Vision, but no, it's literally Wanda's vision of her own reality. This is what I'm getting from.
I
Oh, I
think
kind
there's
of
a
like
lot of plays. Yeah, right. I like that's one view, like Wanda's vision of reality. The simple, the simple one head take would be, it's the Wanda and Vision show. Um, like another kind of take could be like it's like television. It's a television show. This is WandaVision type of shit. This is her
Nah,
TV
I
show
don't see
kind of
that.
thing. Um, I don't know. I like the idea of this is Wanda's vision of like her world.
yeah. I was not expecting to like this show this much,
Yeah,
but man,
yeah.
they're doing some weird shit with it. They're keeping it nice and twisty. I'm a huge fan.
Yeah, yeah. You could ask any of my friends. Like, I'm a huge Marvel fan because like I've like these cartoons, these comics, the games, all that shit. But I haven't been a huge fan of like the Marvel Cinematic Universe. I think what they're doing is cool. Like what they've done with this like a cinematic universe that has never been done in like movies. So it's like I think that like I think it's cool and all that. I feel like in general, I don't know, the movies have been like pretty basic, so I haven't been like super in love with them. So I'm really happy that I'm enjoying this WandaVision show so much, and I'm looking forward to like if the next phase is like as good or as interesting, then I don't know. I'm super excited to see because I found that all the Marvel movies and stuff, they're just like a little bit basic for me. Like not that they're just not complex enough. All the characters are pretty good. I don't like. There's just not enough going on. Like and there's so much fan service that like I don't know.
Well, I don't think the fan service is going to calm down, but
Nah.
I think they had to get through the initial phase of the movies before they really started getting into the weird like comic book stuff. Because I mean, you read comic books like I do. Comic books are fucking weird. Comic books are borderline stupid sometimes with some of the shit where it's like, well, there's 5 different writers that have done this one character, so yeah, his powers just vary
Yep.
depending on what they need to be. It doesn't matter.
Just accept it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's
There's multiverses. There's how many different Earths are there in the multiverse, and each fucking character is a little different. You have the ultimate version of the character, and then just the normal fucking Marvel version of the character. There's what if storylines that don't actually exist, but just cover weird shit. Like comics are weird.
Those
Comics
are
are.
yeah.
those what if stories. Those are my favorite stories in comic.
Hmm.
Uh, but yeah, so the other thing I wanted to bring up was Sword, right? Like obviously I know who Sword is, right? Because of all the Marvel shit, right? But I don't think they've ever come up in the cinematic universe, right? They just introduced this group and we were just supposed to accept it. And it's nice they like the name is good because like we know of Shield already. So when they say sword, we're like, oh, this might be like the other hand of like these like organizations. And I don't know. I was also just like just thinking to myself a little bit like so far they haven't they haven't shown too much that leads me to believe necessarily that they're in the exact same universe that we've been watching the movies in,
Oh,
right? And so I was just thinking like what if like Sword is like this other universe's Shield? And have they mentioned Shield? I don't remember.
I was just trying to think if they had.
Nope,
Right.
not one mention.
That'd be
So I don't know. I was taken aback when they brought up Sword. I was like, Sword? Is
But
that like I was like,
Shield has to be in there because in the Captain Marvel movie, Shield was there before Shield was. You know what I mean? Like Samuel L. Jackson was there with them. Like
well, maybe. Like because like what they do with these the multiverse, right, is like once you go to like another universe, all bets are off. They could change anything. it could have been Captain Marvel came to Earth and Sword was there instead of Shield, and maybe instead of Samuel Jackson, it was the other guy that he was with, or you know what I
Probably.
mean. It could
Yeah.
be any combination of things could be different.
Or what if
But,
Superman landed in Russia instead?
oh, that's my favorite. Yeah.
Oh my god.
Um, like all bets are off. Like, and a lot of times with these alternate universes is like a lot of events are different along the way, but you kind of get to similar locations anyways. Um, but the characters have like different outlooks, different attitudes, and then that like plays into it when they come into contact with one another and stuff. But I don't know, it was just something weird that I was like for the casual fan of Marvel who only watched the movies, I think when they introduce Sword, they have no idea who this group is. And I think they're supposed to make the mental connection of like, well, that other organization is Shield. Maybe Sword is like the offensive wing of this government type of thing. But then I was just thinking, like, man, what if this is all taking place in like some alternate world? Like, what if Thanos' snap affected all the multiverses or like all the universe? You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
I don't know.
I enjoy the movies a lot. I think you're probably being too smart for the cinematic universe shit they've done so far.
I'm too comic booky, man. I'm getting stupid crazy right now. I don't know. Anyways, it was just a thought. I found it interesting. So.
Well, other than the Wanda show, we got a big Sunday today, actually. Super Bowl Sunday. Tom Brady and the Kansas City Chiefs with Mahomes. Who are you picking and why? Because this shit here is going to be pretty epic.
I want the Bucks to win, man. I feel like Tom Brady is the LeBron James of football. He's just moving across, bringing terrible teams together, taking them to the playoffs. I feel like I feel like he's gonna go down in the history books just because he's like the total package. You sent him over there, and your team just magically gets it all together.
It wasn't magically. They did have a rough start, but I mean, it's still Tom Brady.
Hey, man, it
In
doesn't
in
matter.
one season, they got it together. That's pretty remarkable.
No, it's definitely good, but he has a good team. It's not like his team's trash. Like,
I mean, come on, the Bucks weren't even making it anywhere near the playoffs before this, right?
no, of course, Bucks are garbage. They what did the Buccaneers, I think is what Skip calls them or some shit like the Buccaneers. Like, they're trash, but Tom Brady and a couple key components in that system, and they're in the Super Bowl. Like, that shit's fucking crazy.
He must be a good captain too,
Who?
Tom Brady.
Tom Brady. He must be a good leader on the team. I think so. I could imagine that.
It's got to be.
He's also a fucking dick. Like, if you talk to some of the teammates, like, he's really, like, he harps on you a lot when you fuck up, which is great leadership. Like, he's holding everybody accountable. But yeah, no, it's
Yeah, I mean, there's leaders that make their underlings feel confident and they feel empowered, and then there's other leaders that insult you and push you, and they'll drag you kicking and screaming until you perform.
I
I
think
mean,
I think in sports you tend to get a lot more of that latter too. I mean, look at like Michael Jordan. Dude's an asshole. Dude's an
Yeah.
absolute asshole.
yeah, yeah, man. I don't know. I
They're
don't know
just
what's
super
better,
competitive.
but I mean, they both could function. I think one's more dysfunctional in that, like, it's abusive and people feel bad and all that. But I don't know if it produces better results. Then I'm not saying that it's okay, but I don't know. I guess I could understand. I could rationalize why people would be that way. But
I don't think it would work on me in my professional life personally,
hell no.
but that's a world where I can just be like, okay, fuck you, I'm out. Go switch to this different company.
no, yeah. In sports, is different. Like, you need that kind of, like, you need somebody that has that killer or mamba mentality, you could say, like, where it's like, yo, win or lose, we're gonna play like if we're gonna die. Like you gotta play 100% all the way, leave it all on the field. And plus, go back to the Bucks. They got great fucking players, bro. That team is good. Like, they got fucking Antonio Brown, Rob Gronkowski. I always fuck up that name.
Gronkowski?
Yeah, Gronkowski. Thank you.
Gronkowski.
Mike Evans, Godwin, Ronald Jones. Who's the wide receiver? The white guy, Miller. Scott Miller. He's got like these are just a few that I can remember off the top of my head. Like these guys are fucking great fucking players. They're not trash. So to me, it's like they build a good team. They got a couple great players there.
Yeah, I think what Doe is ultimately saying though is like, do you think that team minus um, Tom Brady is going to the Super Bowl?
No,
Let alone going to the playoffs even. Like
no.
it's like maybe, but I don't know. There's some players that just bring a magic, man. You put them on a team and they could get this group of people together, even if they're all good. Like we've seen teams with many good players and they don't have the right leadership, they don't have the right captain, they don't have the right quarterback or point guard or whatever sport we're talking. And they just don't have that person who's bringing that magic, and shit don't, they don't perform as well,
Tony, can we just go back? I've got one point to make. Antonio Brown is, in fact, hot garbage. An absolute terrible fucking piece of shit person.
He's just misunderstood.
Oh, okay.
No, I
So
mean,
inform me
tell
on
me.
Antonio Brown, because I'm not a huge football fan.
Go ahead, Mateo. Tell me his
I'm not
negative
familiar with why
negative
he's
shit. Go ahead.
misunderstood, nor do I
He's
understand
got
what
a
he's
bunch of rape allegations against him that were like settled out of court and shit like that.
saying. Oh wow.
He's a pretty terrible human being. Like,
And so do you believe that these allegations are like
I think given his behavior, and I think a lot of times when you settle out of court like that, like, I don't know.
They settle because they don't want that publicity. That ruins a player's like stats or availability. Like teams look at that shit. They don't want bad publicity to come towards their field. So obviously, like ending it as quick as you can with no penalties is the best way to do it. Because if you let it drag out just to prove that you ain't raped nobody, that's just gonna fuck up your career in a sense. Like Antonio Brown's had multiple problems with the Pittsburgh Steelers. Like he was saying how he was hurt or whatever, and he was like, "Yo, I don't think I could. I don't think I could do this practice." And he said how his coach told him, "Well, don't come back." He was like,
I mean,
"What the fuck? Don't come back."
The dude seems like a garbage person, man. There's multiple instances of him like hiring people to do work and like not even paying them. Like you get past the rape allegations, which you shouldn't, but like just his inability to pay people money for work that he hired them for, like he seems like a shitty person, man. There's obviously something going on with that man where he's a little bit unstable. That's how you end up on the Buccaneers.
yeah. It's interesting you say, because I just pulled up his Wikipedia page real quick just to like, I don't know, just read into this guy a little bit. I love that you're like, yeah, he didn't really do much on the Pittsburgh Steelers or whatever, like in terms of like controversies. The very first fucking paragraph of off-field controversies, he threw furniture out of his 14th floor apartment and hit like a 2-year-old kid like on a patio below.
Terrible.
I don't know how true that is.
All right, Tony. Oh,
Do you believe
so-
everything on the news?
I believe a lot of things that oh man.
Either way, he's not a.
There's some things that are reported inaccurately and stuff like that, but I don't know.
He's not a bum though. Is what I'm trying to get at. Like
He's not a what?
He's not a bum. He's not a trash player.
You think
Either
he's a skilled player?
Either way, if he's trash personally wise outside of the field, okay, I'm not gonna argue that. But on the field, I would have him on. I would have him on my team to play because he can play.
Oh yeah, he's obviously like top 5 if you're just going looking at like players' ability and skill set.
So, I want to table. I guess I want to remember this conversation so we could have it maybe another day or later. But it's interesting because like you're just saying, putting aside the piece of shit person that he may be, I think he's a good player, right? I also wanted to talk about kind of separating like an artist or separating someone's personality from the entertainment or value that they produce.
I got can you still enjoy Mel Gibson movies?
Right. Can you still enjoy Mel Gibson movies and stuff?
He's going to have a much more productive season coming up this year.
The fuck is all that shit? Sorry.
Yeah, I have some mixed feelings, but But anyways, going to Tony's question, I want. Wait, sorry, you're asking who do I think is going to win the Super Bowl,
Or who do you want?
who do I want to win the Super
Who do you want?
Bowl? I want the Buccaneers to win, and I'm a New York Giants fan, so I am not a fan of Tom Brady. But I'm gonna get a lot of pleasure out of seeing all the Tom Brady haters just being so fucking upset when he wins another championship.
What about you, Mateo?
I like Mahomes a lot. I want the Chiefs to win. I think Tom Brady's going to pull it off, though, and the Buccaneers are going to be America's new team.
Yo, you see what the fuck is behind me right now? Look fucking back there. Don't disrespect America's team, bro.
First it was the Patriots because, they, fought in the revolution and, they're America's team, and then it'll be the Buccaneers.
Is this what we're gonna do?
Been the Cowboys.
Is this what we're gonna do in every episode? Just come back to America's team. Is this what we're gonna do? Let me know this is what we're doing because I'm just gonna start attacking it off rip because y'all are disrespectful, bro. Like, all right. So my pick, because Doughboy said he wants the Bucks to win. I also want the Bucks to win, not because of I want to shut down the hater fans for Tom Brady or not, but because of my wife. My wife has this likable thing with the Chiefs and Hill, Tyreek Hill. I'm like, fuck a Tyreek Hill. I don't know why the fuck, out of all the teams, besides, she likes the Cowboys, but out of all the teams, you want to pick the Chiefs. Like, why? She has no explanations or doesn't want to give me an explanation, but she wants them to win. So now I'm just like, no, fuck that. Tom Brady's going to win. So
you feel insecure because you think your wife is attracted to this?
Probably to Mahomes or Tyreek Hill, yeah. Why do we like them? We got Amari Cooper. We got Dak Prescott. Like one of them. Fuck who we like. Like the other, bro. She got a Miami Dolphins jersey for work because they can do wear jerseys for work or whatever. And I looked at her like, why the fuck do you have a Dolphins jersey in this house? What the fuck is why? We're Cowboy fans here. We don't rock other people's fucking jerseys like that. Like, why? She was like, oh, it's pink and it was cute and it was cheap. Yeah, no one buys that dirty ass jersey. No one buys Miami Dolphin jerseys. That's why they're fucking cheap. No one buys that shit. And I'm letting you know right now, there's gonna be a bunch of haters. They're gonna dislike this YouTube video just because I said that. And fuck y'all. Because I'm telling you, I don't understand why the fuck she got a Dolphins jersey. No reason why.
Make sure you comment on the video so Tony knows who it is who disliked it because he wants to know, but he doesn't care.
I like the secret dislike. It gets Tony way more tight.
Yeah.
Tight like two tigers. But no, yeah, I want to see the Bucks win.
I never understood that level of hating a different team. I've never hated something that much.
You don't watch sports.
It doesn't belong in this house.
Well, how many hats do you have? How many different teams' hats do you have currently? It's got to be a crazy amount, right? Yeah.
I have a few. I used to have a lot of caps. I used to wear a lot of baseball caps and fitteds and stuff. I need to buy more.
But you're not buying it because of team love. You're buying it because it looks good.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. He doesn't have a home team. He doesn't really watch sports like that. He likes the Knicks. He goes for his New York teams because he lives in New York. Cool, but he'll be the type of New Yorker to have a fucking Yankees cap and then go buy a Mets cap because that shit looks cool. No, there's people in New York who actually love and watch the sports and probably don't want to rock a fucking Mets hat. Cause
sure. I mean, also because you can rock a lot of different hats here and not get persecuted. I took a trip up to Boston one time and they did not like my New York Yankees hat. They were not feeling it over there. I got a lot of people that were like, hey, you're a New York fan. Hey, you from New York? I'm like, yeah. And they're like, oh. I missed a train one time, an Amtrak train, and I went the wrong direction. I got on the train, but I went in the wrong direction, and the train I was supposed to go was on the other side of the track. So I started going into Boston, and I was like, oh, shit. Once I got to the next stop, and I'm like, this is not my stop. This is not the normal stop. So I got off. I waited for the next train on the other side of the track to come, and the conductor came out, and I'm like, listen, man, I don't have a ticket for this train. I got on the wrong train. I'm trying to go to New York. And he's like, yeah, I'll let you in. He's like, but you're gonna have to take that hat off. And I was like, huh?
Yes.
I had not taken a shower, so I had like really bad hair. It was early in the morning. It was like 6, 7 in the morning. So my hair looked terrible, and I'm like, "Are you for real?" And he's like, "Yeah, man. It's not gonna work. You either take that hat off and you can come in the train, or you gonna have to wait here and figure out your situation." So I'm like, "All right, fuck it." I took my hat off. I found the seat. Later on, like 30, 40 minutes, I put the hat back on because I was like, "Oh, my hair looks terrible." And he came. He was the conductor, so he walks back and forth. And he looked at me and he's like, "Hey, man, what did I tell you about that hat?" And I was like, I looked up at him. I'm like, "Bro, these for real." And I had to take it off the entire ride. He made me ride with my hat off.
Yo, that's
Double down on
respectable.
that.
That's
Yeah.
respectable.
That's fucking funny. Doey hates missing ferries and trains and shit too. He
Oh
goes
man.
pissed. He was furious the last time I went up to New York. So over there on the other side of the window, just glaring at us and pointing at us.
Right.
This is your fault.
Damn.
Oh my god.
That sounds
to
like
you?
Doughboy. That
Yeah.
sounds
Get
like
at him.
Doughboy.
Yeah.
What a
I,
piece
I
of
don't
shit.
know. I was being an asshole. But the ferry, it's like every 30 minutes. So when we were walking in, actually we had waited there like 10, 15 minutes literally, and we missed the ferry that we were supposed to get on. And so I mean they were chilling more so. I think I'm gonna be honest, I think it had more to do with me working the overnights and I was so grumpy because I wasn't getting sleep. So I would have like I'd be very moody. It sucked. I
Moody
hate being
bitch.
like that. And I look back at it and I'm like, why was I upset? But you could even see it from the point when we were walking on the bicycle path. The lady was like, "Hey, you're walking on the bicycle path," and then I mocked her. And I noticed there, and I even thought back on it. I'm like, why was I so angry? I'm like, it must have been like the lack of sleep and stuff.
That's funny.
That's crazy.
But now, so I guess we got a Bucks here then, right? Everybody.
Nah.
No, oh, Mateo wants
Mateo
Chiefs,
said
right?
Chiefs.
Yeah, that's right. I'm sorry.
I do think the Chiefs are the better team, and I think they may end up winning, unfortunately. But I'm rooting for who I'm rooting for. Probably gonna have some drinks, a couple glasses of whiskey, kick back, watch some football today. So
No, yeah,
it'll
it's
be good.
gonna be watched. That halftime show is gonna be a little weird with the weekend doing it.
Why is that weird?
He's like one of the biggest stars in the world.
I don't know, bro. This new image that he's been going through, like he looks fucking weird. Like he looks weird.
You don't get what it's a message that he's trying to send. He didn't actually do that to himself. That's all like makeup and he's just basically trying to tell everybody like everyone wants to make themselves look so perfect and everybody goes through all these cosmetic surgeries and like end up looking inhuman. He looks like there's these two brothers that he looks like, but it's also from like the SpongeBob meme where Squidward gets he has like that Chad face.
The
I don't know
beautiful
how to
Squidward. Yeah.
yeah, the beautiful Squidward face.
Oh yeah,
And it like
that was
it
ugly.
comes from that and he's like trying to make like a statement saying like, look, I was beautiful and look what I did to myself because I have like body dysmorphia, which a lot of people have. You see it in like Kim Kardashian's photos. She'll be tan and with the whitest hands in the world, and it's like you're just putting makeup over yourself because you don't like the color of your skin. I know for women it's different. Like women love like with makeup and their foundation and it changes the color of their skin and stuff. But I think it bleeds into men as well, and everybody has like this body dysmorphia because of what the internet and like the standards of the internet, and it's just weird. Instagram has kind of like morphed the way we look at ourselves.
Yeah.
That's fair. It's a good point, honestly.
I haven't seen. I think I just looked up a picture of I guess what you're talking about. It kind of looks like that kid from that movie Mask. I don't know
Oh,
if you guys not the Mask, but the '80s movie Mask with Cher.
yep.
That
Need to check
he
this
kind
out.
of looked like really what the weekend looks like is that episode of Dexter's Lab where he wants to look handsome. And he gets like the fucking plastic surgery, and his whole body is now just a head. And then at the end of the episode, he sets up all these lights to take a picture of himself, but they're so bright that when he takes the picture, his whole face is like melted. No?
No.
All right.
I don't
Fuck y'all.
remember that one in
Fuck
particular.
y'all. All right. Dexter's Lab was my shit. All right.
The one that I remember is in South Park when they go to the rhinoplasty and he has the Baywatch guy's face. He comes out with the what's his name? What's the main?
Hasselhoff.
Yeah, Hasselhoff
Hasselhoff.
face.
Oh my god.
I think it's Mr. Garrison or something like that.
Oh, the worst is not only did he look like Daniel Hasselhoff, it was a fucking picture. Wait, of David Hasselhoff?
David Hasselhoff.
It's like a, you know, when South Park does the shit where it's like the photorealistic, like it's like an actual person's face, like Saddam Hussein. They had like that. It was just a picture of him, but yeah, that's what he looked like. It's just a fucking picture of David Hasselhoff. That shit look horrible. Yeah. But if you look up Dexter's Lab, handsome, you can see the picture of handsome Dexter. Okay.
I can't look up anything. My keyboard's too clicky clacky. That's all you'll hear on the podcast.
I've been typing really soft. Unless you guys could hear it, then I got to stop.
No, I don't hear. I didn't hear any clickety clack shit going on. But
I heard a lot of clicks.
no, probably.
So what? So I found your comment interesting though, Tony. So the weekend is weird. You're saying the halftime show is gonna be weird because of
There's no fans there. That's going to be weird. Because like a lot of performances,
I think there are going to be fans, right? It's just going to be limited occupancy.
it's a
There's gonna
difference.
I know that they're bringing in 7,500 first responders that have been vaccinated. They're giving them free tickets to Super Bowl. They're going to bring in 7,500 people,
Amazing. That's amazing.
which I think is super cool. Yeah, it's absolutely super cool.
They deserve it.
In I guess similar news too, I saw the owner of the NFL. He was saying how he's gonna let the U.S. government use all the
The
football
stadiums and the
stadiums as like vaccination centers.
They're
Yep.
doing it at Yankee Stadium as well over here.
Yeah, that's super dope.
Mm-hmm.
So no, Tony, not because of no fans, but you were like, yeah, you said the halftime show is going to be super weird because, yeah, I just don't know the look that the weekend is going for or something.
He's just an odd guy, bro. Like even his original look, I think was normal or whatever. Like, I'm not saying that he's abnormal or anything like that. I'm just saying like he just looks so different now. I guess what Doughboy is saying, like he's trying to say, like, oh look, I'm making all these perfections, but I'm actually being imperfect. Like he just looks like he's going hard. I didn't know that was his message, but now I get it. Like that's it just looked like he was going hard for something, and I didn't know what it was. So and then performing with little to no fans, how the Super Bowl usually have fans, is also a different energy. Like you get a real different energy to an empty crowd to versus like even some of these basketball games that are going on. Like it's hyped, but it's a different hype. Like
You know where I noticed it is WWE now. I'm like, wow, this is weird without the fans.
yeah.
Weird.
Weren't they pumping in like like the fake sounds of like the crowd and whatnot in
Yeah,
some of
that
these
shit is
some of these
terrible.
things?
In the NBA games, I thought it sounded pretty good. I watched a lot of the games when they were in the bubble, and aside from the gym, like where they were playing was like the wall was super close to the court. Like besides that, it didn't feel too abnormal for me. Where I found really weird is some promoters, like in boxing, they're putting on events with no fans, and that shit is weird and they are not using fake audio or anything. So it's just fucking pin drop silent, and all you're hearing is like all the
Smacks.
grunts of these guys getting punched, and it just feels like a little bit more fucking barbaric. You hear the coaches talking, you're seeing someone get punched in the gut, and they're like, oh, and you're like, oh, that sounded like it hurt. Like I don't know, this is a little more barbaric than it seemed before. You know, I don't know. But yeah, everybody's laxing their COVID restrictions, unfortunately, because I mean, a lot of people still getting sick. The shit has not really slowed down, and everybody's just like, all right, well, we gave it a college try, so we could just start opening everything back up again. And like now, there's boxing matches with crowds. Like you said, the Super Bowl. I've seen multiple football games where there's people there. NBA's back with people. Like they just sort of said, fuck it.
Yep.
Nah, yeah, for sure. Also, I'm super excited, right? And I don't know about you guys, but I've been a big fan of this game that's always dropped. Battlefield.
right?
No.
Oh.
Battlefield finally released some information saying that it is coming in the holidays of 2021 and they're dropping a trailer this spring. I'm super fucking excited for this.
Wait, they did a teaser for them dropping a teaser trailer.
No, they just dropped information. They didn't do any. They just said, "Hey,
For their shareholders.
yeah." They just saying, "Hey, we got something cooking, and it's coming."
I saw gameplay.
One for Doughboy. Oh no, there is a so there is like a little gameplay of it, but
0 for Doughboy.
yeah, right. We're keeping tracks of all your habits. Anyways, but no, yeah, bro. This game is literally what I've been waiting for. The Battlefield's been going with this old fucking bolt action, this fucking bullshit. I got tired of the World War bullshit guns. My rants has always been I need my modern type guns, M4A1s, SKSs, fucking the M16s, all these great guns. I need that. This whole riding horse shit, I'm good off that shit. And the fact that they're only doing next gen, they're taking advantage of the full destruction. Why are you shaking your head?
They're not. It's gonna be PS4, Xbox.
Literally, I have it pulled up. They're
So I think you guys are both right, actually. So it's coming out on PS4. It's coming out on the old gen and coming out on the current.
Oh yeah.
gen.
I'm not saying that it's not coming out on the PS4. I'm saying like their main thing is the PS5. Like it's not gonna be. You can't crossplay with the two. From what I read.
Correct.
Yeah.
Right. That's what I mean by you guys are both right. So the PS5, like for the different versions of the game, they're gonna go more like all out because there's no need to be compatible across the two.
Yeah. But no, I'm super excited. It's gonna be back to what a fucking shooter should be. Like you're hiding behind the wall. Okay, M203, bam, Dooku, blasted. I'm fucking coming through that shit. C4 on a 4-wheeler, setting it up on a fucking MCOM station. Like we're gonna fuck you and everybody else on your team. No homo. Like we're gonna fuck you up.
Okay.
Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Might want to edit that part out, Mateo. But still, no disrespect. Fucking like that game's gonna be dope. I've always been a killer at it. Doughboy's always been in my shadow, trying to follow it up, trying to claim this fucking chair of highness.
There's no chair of highness. I played the game way before you played it. Okay, you're talking to the Battlefield veteran.
Mm-hmm.
Well, you played Battlefield 1942 on the PC.
Can I ask a question real quick? I think this would be very interesting. What was your guys' first real multiplayer experience? Like, what was the first time you really like sat down and played a multiplayer game? The first one.
PlayStation 3, SOCOM, U.S. Navy SEALs. That's what sucked me in.
And what sucked you in about it?
Bro, like, just the fact that I can play. You had to buy that little adapter for the internet for the bitch, too, for the PS3. Like, so playing that game.
PS2?
No, it's PS3.
I don't think you needed to buy an internet adapter for the PS3.
Yeah,
PS2
PS2 needed an built in.
PS2.
PS2 wasn't built in.
Right.
had
You
to
need
buy an adapter.
Oh, maybe it is a
adapter.
PS2. Maybe I am bugging. Correction. Thank you. So you had to buy an adapter for it or whatever. And then when I got it, I was just like, holy shit. I'm playing with other people and I'm chatting with them. Like as a kid, I was like, this is amazing. Like this is so real to me. And it's a shooter game. And I like shooter games. I even had like the whole throat mic, like military people. Like you had it right here and you would just be talking to comms. And also what I liked about it, SOCOM had proximity chat. So if the enemy's nearby, you can hear. And I used to use that to my advantage to where I was like, I knew they were nearby. I'll start screaming out random fucking fake messages like, all right, I'm running out the door right now. Everybody follow behind me. And I'm going to throw a smoke first and then I'm going to run out. I'll throw a fucking smoke out the door, come out through the back, and everybody's aiming at the door. I'm just fucking massacring all these motherfuckers right in front of me. And I'm just like, stupid bitch, proximity chat. And I'll just walk away from the... I was a kid, so I was talking mad shit. But yeah, that's my first experience for that. I loved it.
What is it that kid was saying the other day on voice chat that he pooped on someone's chest? He reamed that kid.
I missed this. What?
So we were playing Overwatch the other night.
That's right, my nephew.
Yeah,
Oh.
nephew, bro, Aiden. I fucking pooped all over him, reamed him. I'm like, wow, this kid's beast.
He said that shit and I had cringed. And then me from like fucking 20 years ago cringed too. He was like, oh shit, that's probably some shit that I said back then.
Yeah, for me, like I also played SOCOM on PS2. One of my cousin's friends had it all like set up. That was like the first time I really played a game online, but I never like I maybe played it like once or twice. I think I want to say the first time I'm really playing games online was probably the first Modern Warfare on PS3. I mean, I also played like Counter-Strike and Modern Warfare on PC at Doe's crib too. But I guess they're like around the same time, but probably like Modern Warfare. Yeah, shit was just crazy to me, man. A lot of racist people, man. Every fucking lobby, you got people dropping N bombs, like everybody. The shit was sickening. I couldn't like for me, the best thing that has happened in multiplayer gaming, in my opinion, is like the advent of like these private like party chats where like I could jump in a party chat and the only people I could hear are my friends and we're the only people talking to each other. Cause like the games, sure, I mean different strokes for different folks, all right. But I'm not I'm already an aggressive person. I already get angry all on my own. I don't need any extra toxicity in my life.
Not me.
So I don't. Sure, that I personally like just being dolo, playing my games just with my friends. I was not a big fan of every single game you'd win, and then it was like I enjoyed it. Okay, I enjoyed like every time the match was over, you'll hop in, and then everybody was talking so much shit for like a minute and a half before the next game started. Like there was an entertainment to that type of behavior, but overall it was just toxic, and I just enjoy the more chill vibes that I experience now.
I solely love that shit. I live for that shit. You already know the type of person I am, bro.
Nothing pisses me off like losing, like playing a game of Rocket League and your opponent scores first goal. It's like 4 minutes to go, 1-0. You got 4 minutes to come back. These motherfuckers want to put GG in the fucking game. It's over. We won. Yo, that shit pisses me off. I don't need that toxicity. All right.
Nah, you gotta embrace that shit, bro. Like my nigga Bane said, I was born in it. Like, yo, I am all about the toxicity. I would take that shit to a whole nother level. Not only because I can back up my play, because I'm good, I'm going to talk shit. And I'm going to talk shit all the way through. When I kill you and you can hear me for a little bit, I'm going to be like, fuck your mom, bitch ass. Boom. And then when we get back in the lobby, I'm going to be like, bro, you're fucking trash, bro. Like, as a kid, I was beasting on people. Because, like, bro, like, the Xbox users, right? The Xbox was crazy for the... I wish I had an Xbox back in the days because the toxicity on Xbox was crazy. Like, N-bombs was being dropped. You could be white, and another white person would drop an N-bomb on you. It's like, bro, I'm not even black. Like, why are you dropping N-bombs? They don't care. Like, it's crazy. I think that's how cyberbullying was born. The lobby chats of video games.
Wait, but you said you like the...
Oh, I live for that shit. Don't play games. Yo, if you're going to be online, don't play games with me. And if you start talking shit, I'm not going to stop. And I'm going to beat you in every fucking game. I'm going to destroy you. And that's how, like, there was this one time I got in a rant with I think the dude was like 30 years old on SOCOM, right? And I was trying out for their team because back then you can have a team or a clan. So I tried out for them. Back then I think they were called C420 or some shit. And they were like, "Oh, you're a really good player. It's just your voice is squeaky." I was like, "Okay, like I'm better than you. What are you talking about?" And they were like, "Hey, don't get cocky." I'm like, "All right." As soon as we loaded into that next map, I was talking hella shit. I was like, "I can't believe I even tried out for your bum ass teams. Y'all niggas is 30 years old. Y'all can't even beat me. Y'all some fucking bums. Bush ass better than." I was just talking mad shit. And then they started dropping racial slurs. I'm like, "All right, fuck you, this, that, but you know, I'm not gonna repeat it on here, but I was saying a whole bunch of shit back, and every time I killed them and killed them and killed them, they got mad and mad and mad, and that shit made me better. Like, bro, I was like Neo in the Matrix. I was 10 steps ahead of these motherfuckers, destroying them, and they're grown ass men yelling at me, like, "Yeah, you're a bum." And every day they had tryouts, and I knew what server they were in, and I knew what time the tryouts. I would come in with a new profile and be like, "I'm back, bitches," and I just start destroying. I would troll these guys, so like so bad because they just garbage, and it's like, bro, y'all started this talking about my voice was squeaky. I was fucking like 10 years old or whatever or some shit. Like, fuck you. I don't know.
Tryouts were cool. I remember those.
I just feel like it brings the worst out of me.
It might
'Cause,
bring
like,
the best.
in those games, like, sorry, the worst in behavior, energy, all that type of shit. Like, cause like, yeah, as soon as someone talks shit to me on Rocket League, it's over. I dedicate all of my energy for the rest of the game to returning the shit talk.
Mm-hmm.
Like, and then as soon as I score, it turns me into a bully. I don't like it.
I like it.
Yep.
I prefer not. I like to be a good person. I like to feel good about. I don't know, man. Those online games, man.
I want that. I
it's
want
not
that dark side of Pucho in the video games. Pause.
That
What
what?
about
I want your
what
dark
about-
side to come out. Fuck that. I want you to be aggressive.
What about when we win an Overwatch game and Tony is still talking shit about all of us and how we could have done better that route?
I'm sorry that I want my team to succeed in everything, bro. Like, you guys also get on me too in Overwatch. Like, "Oh, Tony, you're fucking playing Bastion. This ain't the map for Bastion." Pucho especially, he hates me in
I'm
Bastion.
the biggest,
Yeah,
I'm the
he's-
biggest criticizer when we
Bro,
play.
Bastion saves y'all
I
niggas.
just love the way it snowballs at Tony. You say one thing to Tony, and suddenly he's shitting on the entire team.
Put over here fucking sitting out in these stupid fucking orbs. They're not doing shit. Mateo over there, what the fuck's he doing with that? Like, and it's like, damn, like one person made a remark and he's fucking machine gunning insults at everybody. You're like,
Yo, next time we play Overwatch, I'm gonna do a stream on Overwatch. And I'm just gonna put it up on my other YouTube account. But nah, yeah, bro, I fucking don't come at me. I'm gonna start pointing out wrongs. I'm doing the best I can.
I try my best to be like, hey, look, this is an offensive map. Maybe you shouldn't use
Fuck out of here,
turret
Pooch. Stop fucking
Huh?
lying for the camera, nigga.
Nah,
This nigga's lying for the camera, bro.
I'll be like, yo, maybe that character's not working. Yo, though, maybe you need to switch characters. Yo, let me be that character. Like, I'm just trying to be constructive and do better moves. I'm the last person who's, well, maybe Mateo's the last person because Mateo's the chillest person out of all of us. But I'm one of the last people to just be like, yo, you fucking suck. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I don't just be dropping it.
It's the way he does it. It's
That's Tony's game.
Nah, bro. It's the way he does it. He'll be like, "Yo, maybe the character you're using ain't really working out." Meanwhile, right, he'll tell you that while you've been sucking ass the whole fucking game. He's trying to come nice to you. It's like, "Yo, I know I'm sucking ass, my G. Hold the fuck up and back me up." Like, "No, I think you should just," and you could make one fucking mistake that will cause him to die. And it's like, "Yo, you're not really playing that good with the character. Maybe you should switch up." "No, motherfucker. Maybe you need to watch my back as I attack because you're too conservative." Like, that's what needs to happen. And you know what? I'm done with that shit. Go ahead, Mateo. What's your fucking online game?
One time I tried to get Pucho to stop doing that. I was like, all right, Pucho, every time you criticize one of us, you have to also make a criticism about yourself. And he did it successfully. I'm like, oh, this is not working.
He only did it to counter you, bro. That was a weak ass shit you did. Like, you gotta come correct with this, man, because he's just gonna counter with he's gonna give you what you want and still be that dick. Like, you gotta counter that shit better.
I was like, dude, you didn't stick with me, all right? I died. I needed a healer. I guess what I could have done better was in the time when you were walking away, I could have been like, hey, man, come back and heal me. I'm about to walk in. I didn't communicate properly, and that's my fault. Next time, you should stick with me better.
You didn't account for his dad skills, is what it is, dude. You gotta account for that shit.
That shit, dude. My daughter would slap me, and then I'm like, "Don't stop!" And then she'd be like, "Oh," and start crying. I'm like, "Well, I understand why you're upset, but you can't be slapping people, all right? You can't slap me." So, yeah, I've become more of I don't know, maybe like a media. I don't know. My
Emotionally,
messaging is becoming, yeah, like an emotional fucking. Yeah, maybe manipulator is not the right word. I was gonna say, but I can manage. I'm managing emotions better. Let's
no,
say.
no, no. I was said intelligence. I didn't say manipulator.
I was gonna
I
say
like
manipulator. And I
manipulation.
was like, oh, that doesn't sound good at all. I don't think I'm doing. It's not nefarious,
You should change
I'm
his name to the
managing.
manipulator online. That's what you should do that.
I'm manipulator. Okay.
The word. Now
So,
he's offended.
so
Nah. Care about
my
what you
first,
say.
my first online gaming experience is weird. Because I remember my brother had the that shit for the Sega Genesis. Because you know how that thing was like basically a transformer of fucking video game systems, where it's like, oh, here's the 32X and the Sega CD, and
Oh
there was something
man.
that was called like Sega Online or something like that. And I know that my brother would jump on that. I didn't get to play around with that shit, but I remember that was like the first time I really saw the internet as a thing. Be
On
like,
the
"What the fuck
Gen.
are you doing?" He's like, I'm just chatting with my buddy over in fucking, wherever the fuck they were. I was like, that's wild. That's weird. Um,
This was on the Genesis.
mhm.
Damn,
It
that's
looked
so
like
fucking.
it looked like it was on life support when you had all those attachments.
Yep.
I remember, Everett had a fucking double decker. Like it was another Sega Genesis that you plugged into the top. That was the Sega CD. And I remember he had that Spider-Man game. I don't remember how good it was, but I remember at the time thinking, this is the most incredible thing I've ever seen. I don't think video games could ever get better. And I don't know. I felt that way every step, and maybe less so over the years.
That was David after he saw Sewer Sharks. Not Shark. Was it Sewer Sharks? The fucking stupid ass flying game.
Trying to figure out sewer sharks. No, I don't know what you're talking about.
You don't remember that one? It was like the first game that came with the Sega CD, and they'd be like, you have to turn 9 or 3, 6, and you'd have to remember these turns while you're shooting like rats in the sewer or something like that.
Yeah,
Sewer rats?
unfortunately,
Maybe it's sewer rats.
I'm seeing a Sewer Shark Sega. Oh,
I'm
this
an
looks like dog shit.
That game was
it looked
awful.
I was a Nintendo kid. The Genesis was at my cousin's house. I'd play it very seldomly. I knew that it was amazing, but I only got to play the Sega when I came over to my cousins. I never owned one.
Now, the first game that I played online was probably Fantasy Star Online from the Dreamcast. Played the
Man,
shit out of that.
You stole mine. That's what I was gonna say.
Uh,
That you stole it.
well, you can go into more detail because I barely played that one. I just remember like hooking it up and I played a little bit and then I got distracted by whatever the fuck
Oh,
else.
I
The
put in
first shit
so
that I
much
like
time.
the first shit I seriously played though would be something like it's got to be some kind of combination like StarCraft, um, or man, I played you guys ever play MUDs?
No.
They're fully text based. You like basically SSH into the server, and it's just a full text based like RPG where there's like full on like PvP and corpse looting and all this. We played this one
That's insane.
called Forsaken Lands, and we played that for fucking years. And it was like this full on like role playing thing. Like you could become like leaders of noble houses, and there's wars, and there were different cabals and guilds and shit like that. We played the shit out of that one. Uh, and there was lots of shit talking, and it was like in character shit talking, so it was ridiculous.
Awesome.
Yeah, I don't think I ever heard of that game.
Yeah, there's a ridiculous amount. They were old school. Like you would download like an SSH client and fucking connect into these servers and or a telnet client and connect into these servers and play this game with a bunch of other fucking nerds.
So my journey into multiplayer gaming started around the same time. It was like 98, 99. I was like Quake Team Arena. I was like I saw that in action and that game was a lot of fun. And then that bled into all the Half-Life mods like the Team Fortress and the Counter-Strike. Counter-Strike is actually where I met Mateo. I would never know Mateo if it wasn't for Counter-Strike and me and my brother going like to the Southern Alabama Noob Fest lobby. So just the Southern Alabama is gonna tell you a lot of like what you're gonna find there. Um,
Mhm.
it probably one of the funnest times in gaming for me. It was just I never had relationships with other people outside of just never, you know what I mean? It just brought you into a different world. And that to me was like insane. And then that bled into me getting a Dreamcast and playing Fantasy Star Online a lot. And this was all like in fifth grade, fifth, sixth grade. And man, Fantasy Star Online was such a great game. I wish that they could create something like that again, but I don't know. I think that's so stuck in a period. Um, it had such a good leveling system. There was like four different worlds you could go to, and it had like 4-1, 4-2, 4-3, 4-4, and it was and in retrospect, it wasn't a lot to do, but at the same time, just being somewhere with a whole bunch of other people and teaming up with them to go get like rare loot, uh, me and my brother would like act like women in that game. And we would trick guys to giving us like really rare loot and like dupe materials for us and stuff. And
Manipulators.
but that was a big thing. Like we would log in and we were like, oh, and then we'd finally drop it on them. We'd be like, we'll send them a message. I have something to tell you. What's up, baby? I'm a man.
That is
And we log off.
after he just gave you all that shit. That's terrible.
Yeah, it was like I guess I was catfishing before catfishing was even a thing.
Well, that was like the old school like AOL chat rooms. If you remember, you go into those AOL chat rooms and it'd be like everyone is either an 18 female from California or they're a 20 male from New York or something. Like everyone's just someone that they're fucking not.
Everybody's dropping ASL, age, sex, location.
Cyber question? Cyber?
That's fucking terrible. This man is catfishing before catfishing was a thing.
Yeah, so that was like the beginning. And then like you had Xbox came out and that had like the first real online service. And I thought that was incredible. Like the tone I
They
think
had
it was one of
dedicated
the
servers. It was paid. Like
yeah, man, it was insane. I thought that was incredible. Like I was like, whoa, there's like this whole world beyond Xbox.
yeah.
That Southern Alabama Noob Fest, dude. That's another like time capsule, man. That is not a world that I could go back to at this point as a 34-year-old man. But man, it was so much fun at the time. It was so much fun just being with all these absolute shitheads and talking shit and just
Mhm.
fucking playing Counter Strike all night.
Hours and hours.
And I was awful. I was so bad, so terrible. But I still played the hell out of that game.
I fucking suck at Counter Strike. I could count the number of kills I've gotten on Source. Like,
It's
I don't know.
amazing how that game bled into Modern Warfare, and now you have gun game in Modern Warfare, and all these things that came from Counter Strike, like sabotage, is basically Counter Strike, or demolition. It's basically Counter Strike. You know?
Y'all remember when Tony was saying that he was going to beat Adam at Counter Strike using a controller because he was telling him how much better a controller was than
No way.
mouse. This is when y'all came down to Texas.
I forgot that.
And
Wait,
then
was I drunk in this?
when we're choosing teams, Tony, who's been talking shit about how he's going to destroy Adam the entire time, joins Adam's team.
I don't remember.
I saved him from an ass whipping. Probably I was being nice. I think the inner me of being and Adam, if you're listening to you, I got the game. We can run it. Just letting you know. But
Is it crossplay? Can somebody on PC crossplay with the
on Counter
what
Strike?
game? Oh, Counter Strike? No, there's no Counter Strike. I'm talking about what game crossplays with PC. What game can we actually do that on?
Overwatch.
I don't think Overwatch.
No, Overwatch
No?
has its own ecosystem.
For sure, Rocket League. There's a few other games.
That man could go buy. Adam could go buy a fucking console. He's all right. You just don't buy like a couple guns that month and just buy a console. Adam will be good and you can play PlayStation 5 with us or whatever. Don't buy that grenade launcher that you want the special edition.
Save the grenade launcher for next month.
Yeah, that man's got a lot of guns, bro. It's fucking crazy. It's when he showed me when we was there last time. He's probably got way more now, but when we was there last time, I was like, "Fuck, that's a gun collection." Like
It's like
that's
preparing for the zombie apocalypse. Like that shit was dope. All right, that was. I mean, unless I go back, but that's like for me, and I guess it I don't know. It could be different, I guess. In my mind, that was like a once in a lifetime kind of opportunity for a lot of people, I guess, that like I went to another place and we went to the gun range. I paid like $20 or something for just like the fucking the eye and ear protection, and then just like some time, and then maybe some extra money for like targets or whatever. And then after that, we shot like 20 something guns, like all types of shit.
that
It
shit
was
was
fucking
lit.
and shit with scopes, all different types of calibers. Fucking
Silence weapons.
Corey had the old ass rifle. That shit felt like a fucking horse was kicking you in the chest. My biggest regret is I didn't get to shoot the Saiga. That was
Oh man,
because
that
like
was
you guys were fucking going ham with it, and then the fucking guy at the gun range came out. And he was like, "All right, you guys got to stop shooting this." I'm like, "No, I didn't get to." Like, that's is the worst part of that day. The best part was the barbecue. God damn,
That
that
shit
was
made me
fucking
kind of
good.
tight. That barbecue shit made me tight because it was like I didn't have cash. All I had was a card. So I was like, "Yo, Pooch, just pay for me and I'll give you the money." Because like there was like some meats that I want, but I didn't get it because Poocha was paying for it at the time. So I was like, "Nah, fuck it. I'll just get like the regular portion." Because I wanted this slab of some fucking rib or something that they had. That shit was kind of expensive. Where if I was able to use a fucking card, like I would have been able to get it. But old ass fucking barbecue place only wanted cash and shit. So but it was fun though. I enjoyed it.
I can't even imagine being in a place like that. Like
I hate
nowadays,
places like that.
with all the like the pandemic type shit, like it was just lines of people, everybody crowded into these like fucking cafeteria bench type
Almost being
shit.
hurdled like cows.
Shit was ugh. That shit's like a fucking COVID fucking like I don't even know. It's like ground zero probably. Like in those that's probably where that shit got invented in those places. Like
There's gonna be like a learning curve of like getting used to the old shit we used to do in society. Like I miss live music, I miss concerts. But like also the thought of like being pressed up that close to just a bunch of fucking strangers and weirdos gives me a little bit of anxiety.
my God. Yeah. The fucking dude, the how about talking about live music? Coheed is like they're doing like a show or whatever, right? And it's on a fucking cruise. These guys are doing a fucking show for 4 days on this cruise, and they got like 20 other bands. Like Saves the Day is gonna be there, Polyphia is gonna be
No
there. Just
way.
yeah, mad fucking bands. And I'm like, yo, this shit would be a dream,
To get on
except
that
we're in the
cruise?
I
middle of a
know.
fucking pandemic.
And
And
the
this shit
people
sold out in like 0.2 seconds. So then you're like, who the fuck are these crazy bastards that are like, yep, I'm gonna go on this cruise with thousands of people to
That's
there's
a
so
dope
many
ass
people out
cruise
there
though.
that have not been able to de-stress, and like everybody's desperate to like go enjoy themselves. That's what you're seeing a lot here in New York because everything has been locked down. Like we just are getting they stopped. One thing I don't understand is very biased. There's 25% indoor dining. It's not even it's going to start again on the 14th in 7 days. But you have 100% subway capacity. So there's a lot of things that don't really make sense in New York, but I mean, we've been doing good. The rates have been going down finally since like the holiday surge. So like hopefully we're headed in the right direction. They're giving a lot of vaccines out over here. So I really hope I can get in line. I'll be the first one to like so many people are scared of it, and I think that's so irrational to be scared of something because it just came out of nowhere, and there's a lot of answers to your questions. You have to look for them. um
yeah, I think there's a lot of like anti-vax sentiment that sort of like existed. It was just sort of bubbling around the internet. And then this is like probably the it's probably gonna be the only like major fucking virus that we're ever gonna experience in our lifetimes or whatever. And just
Maybe.
because of that and the prospect of getting a vaccine and all that type of shit, like I think that all that anti-vax like sentiment was able to just like manifest itself in a more like powerful way because the virus is all people were able to talk about.
Yeah.
And yeah, you're right. Maybe it's the only virus of our life.
Yeah, dude, I feel like we've lived in such a weird time frame, like the shit that we've experienced, like fucking 9/11, the pandemic, the fucking Y2K. You remember when people were all worried about fucking Y2K?
That was insane.
The internet bubble and the busting of that. Like there's been so much crazy shit in like
Housing crash.
yeah, there's just been so much crazy shit in like our our lifetimes, and it's not that long, 30 years, approximately 3 decades. I think shit's just gonna get crazier. I think we're gonna see some interesting stuff, and I wouldn't rule out another pandemic or something as part of that.
I mean, the only thing that I really miss about before, like pre-COVID, is us getting drunk, hanging out together.
That's so much. I miss going to the bar, man. So much. Oh man, just socializing.
Yeah, like that's what I miss. I miss all the drunk nights of just stupid shenanigans shit that we used to do.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to just going back to normal.
You guys ever
who
take?
the fuck knows how long that's gonna be? It may
You
be
guys-
years before we're back out in bars and everything like nothing ever happened.
Question: have you guys ever had to take a shit at a bar?
Unfortunately.
Nasty, nasty, shitty, pissy floors. That shit sucks.
So there's a bar I used to go to in Austin that hopefully survives the pandemic. Their name is the Jackalope. I think we went there one of the times y'all came to town. If we did a 6th Street crawl, we probably went to the Jackalope at some point.
You went to the
I
fancy
didn't
6th Street.
go
I
to
was
6th
so upset. We went to fancy 6th Street. What is that called?
Warehouse District or Rainy Street.
Rainy. There you go. Rainy.
I liked it personally.
Which
Maybe
one was
6th Street
Rainy?
would have been more hype or whatever, but I kind of like the just live music, drinks, food, just chill vibes. I'm not into the whole
Oh,
like
man. It's the
getting
dirty-
into a fight in some
it's the
other
dirty
state.
six.
And,
Dirty Six, bro. It's like no other place in Austin.
Well,
And
wait,
you're not gonna get into a fight over there either. It's very I had such a good time on 6th Street, even though it was my first time blacking out. First time. These guys know what happened, but I know the one thing that got me, man, it was $3 drinks over there. It was like some college night, and like
$3 Long
every
Island,
drink
dude.
was like $3-4, bro. So we were bar hopping. By the time we were in like the 3rd or 4th bar, I was gone. I was done. So apparently, I was stopping girls on the street and telling them, "You're so beautiful. You're so
No.
beautiful."
The best part was he was stopping these girls and he was like, "Mama, I just want to thank you." And the girl would look at him like he was crazy. They were like, "What the fuck are you talking about?" He's like, "I just got to thank you for just being so beautiful."
it's fucking terrible.
I'm glad I missed this, dude. This shit-
I was
that
trying to
was
remember.
crazy
Was this
shit.
with us? Did we go down that same bar strip when we were there?
I don't think we did a dirty 6th.
No,
Where did we go? It was downtown Austin. I know that.
Rating.
it was
Yeah,
Rainy Street.
I fucks with that street. That
That's what I'm
street.
saying.
That
We
shit.
went to that container bar. That container bar was cool.
That's where
Yeah.
my whole lit started, bro. That's where I met these couples. Like, bro, I don't know what it is about me and meeting people. My aura attracts
You
these
attract-
people, and
you
we just
definitely attract-
become
It's
like.
because you're loud and you've got no boundaries.
And you look for that shit. You
I
be
don't look
looking
for- I
the
don't look
person
for it.
who's looking around,
I
and
don't.
as soon as you see someone who's even remotely interested, you be giving them the look and the head nod. You be giving the people the confidence to come up and talk. Dude, I got the ultimate like don't fucking talk to me face. So when I'm out and about, people just don't talk to me. I
Nah,
love it.
I like to talk.
Anytime I'm with Tony, some random motherfuckers want to walk up and say some shit, and I'm like,
But
Sometimes
see, but this is the thing. I don't even say nothing though. Like we
Tony-
could be talking.
Tony is a curious man. I mean, it's like that old phrase, curiosity killed the cat, and a cat's got 9 lives.
Cat's got 9 lives, so I'm gonna take it. Like, you know, no, but like it's just I don't know what it is, bro. Like I don't look for it, but when it comes, I open arms talk. You know what I mean? Like I can talk to people. I'm a social butterfly. Like I like to talk to people.
You remember the girl at Starbucks ended up giving you mad shit for free?
Yeah, bro.
Over here
Like
in New York.
we went there to Starbucks for this nigga, me and Emily and him, and then like Shorty started talking to him, and then I was like, "Yo," so I don't know what I said to her, but it was like how she was doing or how her day was, and she started opening up, and she's like, "Oh, you getting a coffee?" I was like, "No, I don't really drink coffee, this and that." She's like, "I got you." Got me a coffee, and I think I got Emily one too. Like it was just like one of those. Your light just went off, though.
Real dark.
Look at this. It's terrible.
Thinking New York has a blackout.
Did your cat open something?
No.
Nah, cat's over there in the back.
Turns the heaters on when it gets really fucking cold, and then there'll be blackouts happen. The opposite happens in the summer where it's so fucking hot. Everybody got their ACs on. It's drawing so much electricity. Bam, you get those blackouts and then brownouts.
But no, yeah, freaking that container bar was lit. That's where I started drinking. Me and this guy and his girl was buying shots for each other or whatever at one point. You guys, I don't know where the fuck y'all left me.
You were playing cornhole with somebody, I remember.
Also, yeah, and we started playing cornhole. And then all of a sudden, Pucho comes up to me and was like, "Yo, we about to break out to the next bar." I was all right, paying my tab, and I told him, "Yo, we're going to the next bar. We'll see y'all over there." And then, like, Pucho looked at me like, "Yo, what the fuck is wrong with this nigga?" And so we left or whatever. And next thing you know, we're at the next bar, and they're there. And I'm like, "Oh, hey, it's lit. We out here. Gang, gang, gang." And Pucho's just probably looking at me in the back like, "Yo, what the fuck is wrong with this nigga?" Like,
nah, it'd be fun. It'd be fun. It's just weird. Tony always fucking does that shit. If somebody even gives him like 1% attention, he fucking brings them in, showing them all the love in the world, and then he's like, We're leaving and you're coming with, man. We're going to the next spot." Like, dude, like when we were on the fucking cruise, we were having drinks. You was like, "Everybody, we're going to Fat Tuesdays." Everybody pulled up there. Then we left. We're like, "Yo, we're all hanging out at the club after this."
That was
we
blackout.
never showed up.
That was blackout. Like me, all right, so give y'all some backstory. We went on a cruise trip, me, Pucho, Lisi, and my wife, right? We went on a cruise trip. And we had no plans for excursions, but Emily wanted to do an excursion, and I kind of wanted to. But Pucho and Lisa were kind of on the, I don't want to, don't want to, whatever. Broke nigga shit, right? Joke. And we were kind of broke too, but we didn't want to spend bread. And we went to Pucho's like, "Yo, let's just go and see," right? So we went to see. We saw a $60 all-inclusive island that you can drink unlimited. Once we saw that was a reasonable excuse to go and spend $60. So we get there, whatever, everybody's quiet. It's like an hour trip to the island or whatever, or some stupid number like that on the boat, right? We get there, we start drinking almost immediately. And it's colored shots or cups, green, orange, blue, and red.
Yeah, that shit was weird. Only God knows what the fuck was in these alcoholic beverages, dude. They were just like, "Which drink do you want? Red, blue, green, or purple?" And you're like, "I guess I'll take the fucking green one." I don't know what the fuck it is. Like,
no, never go with the green. That's the worst choice.
That's probably what happened.
No, because we got in line, so everybody's just getting one cup, and I'm there. At first, I'm like, "All right, let me I'll try the blue one." Bam. All right, let me get a red one. And we're in line, mind you. Somebody else has got it also. We're like, and Pucho's next to me. He's like, "Yeah, let me get the blue one too." Bam. Oh, let me get the red one too. Bam. And we just did the whole color in line. So we got a line or whatever. Had one of our cups. We're drinking. We go to the water, and it's like, I'm thirsty now. So then I go back, and I'm like, I'm double cupping this shit. I said, let me get 2 of this, 2 of this, 2 of this. Pucho was there. We come back with like fucking mad little cups. And everybody's like, "Oh, you can get 2 cups." I'm like, "Fuck yeah, double fisting this shit." It was amazing. From that point on, we started getting lit. Everybody started getting lit. And me and Pucho's fat ass, we're some fat niggas, right? We get on a fucking canoe in the fucking ocean.
Oh, don't tell the story to Emily and Lisa. They love this shit.
Yo, the water level is at the same rim of the top of the canoe that we're sitting in, bro.
It was a kayak.
Oh, a kayak, my bad.
it could not support the amount of weight that we were putting on this thing. We had two big motherfuckers getting on this fucking kayak. The shit was like at the limit, bro. Like we were submerged in water, but floating somehow.
Yo,
Like it was, and it was just like the only thing we could do to stay up was
is not move.
we would try to row, and the whole boat would almost capsize. But with that capsize, a lot of the water would come out, and it would keep us afloat. But then
More water would
we
come
had to
out.
go the other way, and then water would come back in and come out, and then the whole fucking boat was just doing this. I think Lisa got a video of this shit.
I think she does.
Until we just ultimately we drowned. We never came back, dude. Or shit capsized.
Jumped
we had to
off.
swim our kayak back in from the fucking ocean. It was.
Oh my
If Lisi has that video and if she can get me just a clip of it, I'll try to put that into the podcast.
The facts, you have to, bro. It got to the point to where I was all so drunk, right, that we started playing, I think, volleyball with the randoms out there or some shit, and then it was like or obstacle course.
The organizers of this excursion, they had like set up like a number of like events.
Yeah,
There was like an egg tossing or like a balloon tossing.
water balloon toss.
There was some dancing shit that I would never do under any other circumstance because I'm kind of
Conservative.
shy and conservative. You know, I'm not super comfortable with my body and all that shit. Tony hit me with the major key. He was like, "Yo, my nigga, you're fat with or without your shirt. Just take that shit off." And I was like,
Yeah, because he had his shirt on and he was gonna go in the water, and I'm just like, bro, you're gonna be fat. Like, let's get over this shit. We're never gonna see these people, right? Let's just fucking have fun and relax. And once he took it off, we joined the water tossing contest, and because of me, we failed the water tossing contest. We're like, it was you and me and those two chicks, bro, tossing. I think I underthrew it, or yeah, and Putra had a fucking run and dove to that shit, and
I'm fucking Dennis Rodman. I dove for that shit.
fucking yeah.
Just a fat fucking all the sand. The shit was disgusting.
So yeah, we got pretty fucking drunk to where it's time to go, and me and Putra just rushed back to the bar. Let me get 5 drinks, cause we're leaving. So like everybody looked at us like, you can do that? I'm like, fuck yeah, we can do that shit. We're on vacation. And everybody started rushing the bar to get more drinks. So we're all going back to the boat. Mind you, this boat where it's quiet as hell, right? No one's talking, and I'm fucking still trying to get lit. Pucho's still trying to get lit. Lisi, Emily is back there quietly trying to get lit. I was like, yo, put some music on. And then everybody just kind of looked at me. And I was like, yeah, put some music on. You got a speaker, put it on, man. Da, 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 da. And they put music on. Everybody was like, yeah, put music on. And then they put music on. What was that for? I started going down the aisle like a stripper. Started twerking and doing all types of shit on this pole.
Tony was dancing on a pole.
On the pole. The crowd was hyped. I was blacked out drunk, but had some type of memory of it. And next thing you know, I went from stripping on a pole to me and Pucho sandwiching the captain of the boat. We were twerking on the captain of the boat. Like crazy shit.
It was like Night at the Roxbury. We had him on two sides where he's trying to fucking drive the boat. We're like, back and forth, he's rocking, and he's like, I gotta fucking keep this boat afloat.
He was trying to control the situation, but it was already too late for that shit. I had the whole fucking crowd hype. I had people dancing. I went up top to the fucking top where everybody else was at. I was like, y'all gotta come down here. It's fucking lit. Da 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 da. And then they gave us like rubber bands or wristbands of yo, you can go to this bar or what, I forgot the bar name, but you can go to the bar and they'll give you one drink for free or whatever. And I'm like, we're all going to this bar, forgot the name. We're all going to the bar. We're gonna get fucking drunk. This party's gonna fucking continue. And everybody was hype. Meanwhile, everybody went to the bar. Lisi and Emily wanted to go fucking shopping in a little plaza. All right, go have fun, whatever. Me and Pucho at this bar. I don't know what happened from when we got to the bar to this point. Now we're in a Congo line, and I got a bottle in my hand. I'm pouring it into everybody's mouth.
What in the fuck?
It was everything was so hazy, like because we had so much of this sugary fucking drink. It's the fucking like a death juice or something. I don't know what the fuck it was. And no lie, it was. I had a good time at the beach. We ate food. Then when we got on the boat is when things started to get kind of hazy, and we were dancing. Literally, it was like 100 people on this boat. It was like a double-decker boat, 2 floors. Everybody was just so quiet. Like it was like we were at church or some shit.
Yeah, fuck that.
And then me and Tony started hyping everybody up, and the whole fucking boat got lit. Everybody was dancing. It was crazy. And then that's when things started getting hazy. Like then my memory is spotty. Like I remember us dancing. Then boom, I'm sitting upstairs having a conversation with somebody. Some couple was like asking, like, "Hey, do you guys want to have a threesome?"
Oh yeah, you, Lisi, and that. Yeah. I
I was
remember
like,
that.
what the? And then I'm like, boom, I'm at the bar now. And I'm like, what the fuck? Then we're in a Congo line. And Tony's fucking pouring drinks on everybody's face in a line. Like,
Take a shot. And all these bitches and niggas are just walking in a line accepting my attack. And mind you, I'm like, yo, who paid for this bottle? Where did this bottle come from, yo? Like, I might have snatched it from the bar. I might have reached over the bar and snatched it and just like, Congo line. And since it was so hyped that they were like, fuck it. Like, what I'm going to do, stop these Americans from partying? Like, nah, they're going to pay for this shit, right?
we're in Mexico, by the way.
Yeah, we're
I
in
guess
Mexico.
That's an interesting piece here.
And then there was another bar. And then as we're ready going to the other bar, Pooch was like, yo, where's our wives? I'm like, who? What? And then we got shook for a little bit. Like, yo, we lost these bitches in Mexico. Like, where are they at? We got to find them.
It was night out of nowhere. Like, it was just day, all day long. And next thing you know, it's dark. And I'm like, where the fuck is Lisi and Emily? Like, I'm like, what is going on here?
Yeah, he was being responsible because I was already like, yo, we're going to the next bar with everybody. We're out of here. And he was like, yo, where they at? So we found them some way, somehow. And I was kind of tight. I was like, yo, like, what are we doing? The bar's this way. We out of here. Pooch was like, yo, I think we should, like maybe just go back to the boat or whatever. I don't know what happened. All I know, we went back to the other bar, sat there for a little bit, and then we all got back in line to go back to the boat. Gone. I'm talking about gone. Gone to the point where Pucho started having a conversation. No, Lisi started having a conversation with a fucking 4-year-old or something about being the next president. Right? That's what it was, right? In the line.
Lisi was fucking gone too. I don't know. Yeah, it was some couple's kid. I don't know. Some shit about you're gonna be the next president, or I don't know. You know,
It was
shit
terrible.
was crazy. And then I don't. Then I'm like in my hotel room. Like I'm in my room, and I'm like, I'm fucking drenched, and I was like, we were in a hot tub.
Yeah.
This is me waking up later in the middle, and I'm like, we were in a hot tub. What the fuck? And so all of this, it was just all so fucking hazy, everything.
And then we got on the boat with some hot tub and handmade pizzas. Then in the hallway there was 2 black guys playing off a speaker music, and we're fucking and then my dumbass was like, we're all going to the club, to the White Lightning Club or whatever, in the cruise ship. We'll all be there at 10. Be there. And everybody in the hallway was hype. Yeah. And then we got to the room. We all passed the fuck out.
Then we woke up in the middle of the night. Tony knocks on my door, actually, wakes me up. He's like, let's go to the casino. I'm like, fuck it. I got ready. We went to the fucking casino. Yo, the cruises are fucking, with the right people, it's a disaster.
Oh, yeah.
It's nothing but like drinking and eating and drinking and eating. And it's just pure indulging and just shit. I don't know. I don't know how good it is, but I enjoyed my few times cruising. I don't know, man. The shit is crazy. And then, like, you know, we're cheap bastards, so we're like, how do we get alcohol on this boat? So why we cop these like plastic they're called like plastic flasks. Everett calls these shits bladders because they fucking look like a bladder. And so you fill this shit up with alcohol, and then you just like wrap it in jeans and shit. And next thing you know, you're on the boat with, everybody's doing this. We're splitting it up amongst everybody's luggage. And then, you get on the boat with like maybe like 2 gallons of whiskey or some shit for like 4 days. And then we're just walking around. They had to see, because like we would just walk around with flasks, literal flasks, and we're just like drinking. Like I purchased my first flask just to go on this cruise, just to be able to just whip this shit out. It was awesome. I put it in my pocket. I'd be sitting in the hot tub. It was kind of nasty. And I'd take it out of my pocket and drink a boiling hot.
Boiling. He didn't care because he was drunk. Like at that point, like fuck it.
It was inebriation for 100% of my stay on this cruise.
Nah, cruises are lit, bro. Like, I want to plan a cruise with all of us in it, everybody, and just get hammered. I have to find a babysitter by then, but
to get back to the root of this question.
Oh, the poop
that has resulted in a number of deviations. Yes, I've had to take a shit at a bar. And I ain't gonna lie, Mateo turned me out, okay? I grew up, I don't know what it is. Maybe it's like some Dominican shit, or maybe my family, I don't know. We got this view that public restrooms are just fucking atrocious. And you do not sit on a toilet in a public restroom. That's how I grew up. So I would like, even in other people's houses too, you ain't trying to stink up somebody's crib, so I just would take a shit at my house, leave, and just hold my shit all day, no matter where I was, no matter what was happening, until I got back to safe locations, my house, a cousin's house, a good friend. And I don't know what was, what it was, that Texas trip. And even when we went to New York and shit, that was like around the first times I started drinking IPA. And I feel like whatever it is about the IPA, that shit hits my stomach hard. Like I drink too many beers and that should be giving me like diarrhea. Like it's just the runs all day. And I just had to take a lot of shits. And dude, I had to go so bad, and we're at a bar. And in normal circumstances, I'll just be like, yo, I'm out. I'm going home. I gotta go. I can't take a shit out here. And Mateo and Tony were like, nah, just go to the bathroom, And it was like fucking pulling teeth. I finally sat down on the toilet, relieved myself. It was fantastic. And then I took like 5 more shits in various bars throughout the trip. And then now I'm still like, I don't like to sit on public toilets, but I go now, I stop in the Target restroom or the, the toilet at the ale house or something. I just be going now. When nature calls, I'll be like, all right, I answer,
Nothing worse than them.
I don't think anyone enjoys pooping in public. Like, I don't think there's anyone that's the thing that they enjoy. We got to get you leveled up now, though. Like that bar I was talking about, Jackalope. So their bathroom floors are always completely drenched. There's always about like a half inch of just liquid down at the bottom. Who knows? Could be anything. The stalls have no doors. And they face straight towards the entrance to the bathroom.
Oh my god!
And usually either the seats are disgusting or someone's just ripped the seat off of those toilets.
Did you remember at down the hatch? They that one guy was like they were staging a protest, so they piss all over the floor instead of pissing in the toilet.
That's disgusting,
like,
bro.
What's the protest? You don't piss in the toilets, you piss on the floor. And I'm like, ew.
That's fucking disgusting.
That whole floor was just drenched in piss. I remember at Down the Hatch, I drank so much beer that day that I got some stomach issues and I had to go take a shit. And 2 things about that bathroom is fucking ridiculous. First off, I'm pretty sure that bathroom was just a closet that got converted into a bathroom. Because it's fucking tiny and claustrophobic. Second of all, talking about no stalls, you walk into this bathroom, There's 3 urinals and then a toilet in the corner. It got no doors. So if you got to take a shit, you just got to take a shit in the bathroom while people are walking in and out. I'm talking just like a mere foot or two, and they're pissing in the urinal in front of you. And that toilet was disgusting. I looked at it and I said, nah, I'm just going to be in pain. I turned around. I said, fuck
I
that.
don't even remember the bathroom there. Like, I didn't even have to go to the bathroom at all. That's crazy.
Yeah. After I walked out, feeling went away. It was amazing. I lasted till like 11 o'clock. Got to Doey's crib. Then I relieved myself.
I have designated shit spots in New York.
I mean, you got it in New York.
Yeah, there's one at every place. So like, and down the hatch, there was a restaurant across the street that I would give them like $2 or $3 to use their bathrooms. I tip like whoever's at the front. I'm like, I gotta use the bathroom.
Was that the slaughtered lamb or whatever the fuck?
No, that's the other bar. But if you go to the left, there was like a little Mexican restaurant, like very classy, and they have clean toilets there. So I always go there. When I'm on 23rd, my bike's getting fixed, I go to the Best Buy. The Best Buy has a clean toilet over there. I've been using that a lot. So you got to though, because you're gonna get caught out in the city one day. You're gonna have to use the bathroom.
Nothing's worse than a fucking porta potty.
See, I like using the dumb tourist card in New York though, because they fucking hate you using bathrooms in New York. Like store owners, they absolutely hate that shit. But if you play like just you're a real dumb tourist, they'll usually just let you use the bathroom anyway. They're like, nah, you can't use it here. Just act real confused. Eventually, they'll let you use the bathroom.
Yeah, and somehow Chick-fil-A learned some parallel vortex inside their bathrooms. They keep it clean no matter how many bums go in there to use the bathroom, which is not the case at McDonald's. If you go to McDonald's bathroom in New York, be ready. But Chick-fil-A has very clean bathrooms as well.
Yo, if I have explosive diarrhea, my nigga, I'm going to shit. And mostly any bathroom, mostly. Like, I'll either hover, like the females do when they go use the bathroom in the clubs or whatever. Like, I'll have to hover and just spray and pray that it hit the kombucha.
You ever
and
seen
just spray
somebody
and
that
pray.
completely missed the toilet?
Oh,
It's like
I've
all
seen
over
it.
the back of it. I'm like, ugh.
I've seen niggas shit in the urinal and leave the shit there and just walk away.
That's
I've seen that
school. That's a high school special.
No, it was at a fucking club.
That's awful.
Saw that shit. I was like, wow, this nigga's beasting, bro. Like,
nothing's worse than walking into a bathroom and just seeing like a piece of shit just sitting on the toilet seat, just there, and you're just like, somebody did that and just was like, fuck it, I'm out of here.
nothing's worse too when
Have
you're
you seen these next level shitters? These guys that are just walking, they'll just walk, and then like I've seen a couple videos of this like on Reddit and shit. People are just walking and they got like their hands in their pocket and they're kind of like spreading their shorts out a little bit, and then next thing you know, turds just appear. It's just like falling through their fucking.
Yeah.
So not only did they go commando in the case that they had to do this, but they're now just walking around with a shitty ass and a shitty anything else that shit might have touched on the way down. Maybe a little thigh, a little pant. People just walking shit. Shit is crazy. I saw somebody, there's like a security camera in a mall. Somebody walks by, boop, boop, they're just walking, boom, a turd just appears under them. Because that's what it looks like. You even got to rewind it a few times to even peep that, oh shit, that came out. And then the person behind them just stepped in this and just slipped and fell because of how thick it was, yo. The shit is horrible. And I don't know what's wrong with the internet that I've never seen this before. And then just maybe last year, I've come across dozens of videos of just people that just walking and they'll just be dropping turds while walking.
That's disgusting.
That's real gross.
It's like an art form.
It's a skill.
Way,
That's just disgusting.
but it's real gross.
Yeah, facts. Ugh. But I think that pretty much wraps up this episode. Leaving it off with shit stains and shit falls and shit. Like, that shit is fucking wild. But
it's a nice cap.
yeah.
We keep it real classy here.
Real classy on the One Up podcast. Well, thank you all for watching. This is the One Up podcast. Don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button, man. We appreciate all the love and support. Thank you, guys.
Man, keep listening to the One Up podcast. We appreciate everyone that watches.
And feedback. Any more cutoffs? We're good here? All right.
Both positive and negative.
I really appreciate everyone though checking it out, and like I thank you.
Thank you for watching the One Up podcast.